Know this. Watching your hard-earned dollars fly out the window on healthcare costs is so frustrating. But here's some great news. If you were just notified that your Medicare costs are increasing, a program out there can really help you with your medical bills, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. MediShare 65 Plus. It's not insurance. Members actually say it's better. It's a Christian healthcare community that aligns with your faith and where people encourage and pray for you. And MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. You choose any Medicare provider, and you get telehealth access anytime you need it. And this is great too. Unlike health insurance, you can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. So don't get stuck with increasing costs. Call MediShare 65 Plus and find out how much you can save. Call 888-SHARE-89. That's 888-SHARE-89. 888-SHARE-89.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me.
And Neil Smith, an old buddy, are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man. I miss you.
Stop playing with it.
I like to do it at night when people aren't around.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me.
How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing okay. I'll share with this audience. Having a little bit of a stomach bug issue here. So I don't want any gibberish today. I don't want any ballyhoo, any tomfoolery. And I certainly don't. We need to remind people, stop calling up these airwaves and incriminating yourself in public. I'm talking to you, Clint. I'm talking to you, Red. I'm talking to so many of y'all. Stop with all your drugging and all your drinking, all your stealing and scheming.
Maybe they're using this as a confessional line.
But I'm not in the mood today. I'm not in the mood to be somebody's priest. All right? So, just want to put that out there first. But now I'm happy because, as is tradition now on Wednesdays, we have the one, the only Jeff Poor on the line. Hey, Jeff, how are you this afternoon?
Hey, Joey, no balderdash here for you.
Good. All right. I don't need poppycock. I don't want any of that nonsense. Though when I look at the news, maybe I'm just screwed. Excuse me. Pardon me here. Because let's start with the Alabama library thing one last time. It looks like the state library director, that she's lied, or at least she's contradicted herself to be charitable about things she told 1819 News just a week or two ago.
She's in what we call in over her head. I don't think she's prepared for this kind of controversy. She's probably a decent human being that leans left and said some dumb things trying to get this stuff to go away. But then the governor gets involved and she says, well, I got to be honest and upfront. But, I mean, clearly didn't think this, is not in a position for this. And this just happened to be the controversy du jour. And I also we had the Kirk Cameron event that went off in Madison, and she tried to intervene in that. I mean, like I said, she's in way of her head. And what is probably more importantly is need somebody in that job that is going to at least push for, I don't think the state can tell libraries what to do, but at least push for a consistency in the values of the state, right? Like that represents something that appeals to the sensibilities of the culture of Alabama and not whatever this weird whatever goes in your public library goes.
Well, and in particular, she was at first saying we don't do diversity, equity, and inclusion training here. And then in this latest, I guess, response to Governor Ivey, she praised DEI and how important it is to have in our library systems.
Yeah, that's DEI is something she probably didn't fully comprehend when we first reached out to her. But she's contradicting herself. I just think that's just a sign of someone who is just in way too deep with this and probably isn't cut out for a high profile. And it's not supposed to be a high profile job, but it is right now. But isn't cut out for the high profile aspects of being a state library director.
No, and I suspect that there are a lot of good people, folks you'd have dinner with or, whatever, go to church with. You'd see them at school when you drop off your kids. But sometimes you look at these folks and go, this is somebody who follows the rules. You have this job because you go by the book, you go by the system, and you're not going to, I think, be innovative and entrepreneurial if you're, say, running the library association. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, but it's also somebody who's probably not going to stand up to the latest global left-wing push when it comes to social agendas.
No, and look, these parent organizations, they are like they're the way of the future. They know they have all the latest stuff, and something else here that we don't think about. But I mean, federal money and all the hoops you have to jump through to get it, and like if you want your library in your small town, say Fayette, Alabama, gets a federal grant, maybe there's language in there that says you have to have a DEI program. I don't know. I mean, people will do anything for money, and there's a lot of nuance to this whole discussion. But I think the more broad point is Senate of governed and out of control bureaucracies, and these librarians we're going to have a Pride Month display or whatever against the wishes of the people that the library is supposed to serve. That has something to do with a lot of what's going on, the controversy at least that's going on here.
Well, and again, folks, we're talking to Jeff Poor. He's the host, of course, of the Jeff Poor Show there, 106.5 FM in the Mobile, the Fairhope area, and also, of course, the editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. Just go to 1819news.com. In fact, I'm looking at 1819news.com, and I'm seeing a joint headline between our two senators, and this is more in your neck of the woods of the state, but they're both Senator Tuberville and Senator Britt are opposing a federal rule limiting boat speeds in the Gulf of Mexico to protect whales. Is this just another left-wing agenda like they're saying?
Yeah, well, and the federal government has a long history of, over-policing the Gulf, telling them when you can and can't fish, and sometimes it seems like they're favoring commercial fishermen, and they're doing it under the guise of environmentalism. When there's recreational fishermen who want to get out there and use their boat or whatever reason. But it's been this overreach thing. NOAA just really overreaching when it comes to policing the Gulf waters, and I think that is something you'll see not only our two U.S. senators, but the others kind of around this area kind of join in on.
Well, and I see they want to make it essentially 11 miles an hour, 10-knot speed limit in the whale's habitat. Eddie, you're a
no.
What?
It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
See, often when I do these interviews at the beginning of the show, Jeff, Eddie's quiet as a church mouse. I bring up boating and going
just
slow.
Stupid.
Yeah?
I mean, I actually used to live in Alaska. We'd go look at the whales all the time.
Yeah.
We could go fast. We could go slow. We'd never hit a whale, amazingly enough. Never hit one. You know who has hit whales? Big old cargo ships and things like that. So I got to call BS on this.
Well, we'll see where it goes. I don't often see Tuberville and Britt here together, and I'm just going to put the question out there, elephant in the room. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, what does this look like? Do you have a speed, somebody with a radar gun in a FBI boat waiting for you? We're going to write you a ticket or something?
Drones. Just like when we're commercial fishing or we're out there fishing, say we want to keep something that's out of season. Well, the captain will tell you, Eddie, they got drones they fly over. And, I used to call BS on that. Then he pointed one out one day.
Is it Coast Guard?
Well, fishing game. It's whoever can write you a ticket.
Right.
Yeah, but sure enough, overhead drones. So what can you do?
It's like Big Brother knows no boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah, they keep pressing it. But where I was going with this is that, I've heard a lot, and he's been in the press a lot from Senator Tuberville. I'll get the press releases from Senator Britt's office, but I haven't seen her doing much media. My colleague here, Greg Budell, asked, are we going to find her on the side of a milk carton? When we look at our two senators now, just kind of checking in on the job they're doing, how do you score them these days?
Tuberville, I got a lot of questions about Tuberville, and I think he's doing the Lord's work, if you will, with these holds and really standing up to the Pentagon and bureaucracy with the Pentagon. But I got questions like, where does this go? What is his end goal? Is he going to run again? He's burning a lot of bridges right now. Does that suggest another Senate run in a couple of years?
He told me, sorry to interrupt, he told me straight up in 2 interviews ago that he, in fact, is going to run again.
Well, 2 things about that, though. Number one, he only has $288,000 in his campaign account. I think Katie Britt's got like $1.6 million for her 2028 run. So that's number one. And number two, he's still got these weird residency questions he hasn't resolved. Sure, he could say that he's renting a house from or his son's renting a house or a place in Auburn, and that's his home. And that doesn't really, that doesn't satisfy me. This was a question during the 22 campaign, and he should have resolved it. If he has not bought a place in Alabama that he's just calling his own yet, then why should I believe he is going to be here for the long haul? Why should he run why shouldn't he be going back to 38 when it's all said and done? And plus, one more thing, Joey, I'm hearing a lot of people telling me that he's at least looking into a gubernatorial run.
Okay.
I don't know what that would look like either, but I think there's a lot of things up in the air with Tuberville. As for Katie Britt, I don't think you see a lot of what she does. I think she's going to be like Shelby-ish. She does talk to the media. She's been on this radio show a bunch. She's been on a lot of radio around the state. I think she's going to be more of that. She's getting, we should get things done. There's only so much you could do as a freshman U.S. senator, but she hasn't given a speech on the floor yet. We're waiting for that big moment.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen all the committee hearings, but I've not seen that sort of theater there, which I guess you're not required to do it, but I would suspect somebody so young and energetic who's got a lot of ideas. I don't know. She made it very early as an advisory role on the leadership committee, though, right?
Yeah, and she's on appropriations. The thing about that, and I think this is a little strange, but it is what it is. Your first big speech you give on the floor is supposed to be a big occasion. The family comes down. You got everybody's in the chamber, and it's like a big ceremonial thing. It's not just like Rand Paul filibustering or Ted Cruz reading Cat in the Hat or whatever. I mean, it's like a big deal. Your first Senate floor speech, and I think she's holding out for when the time is right.
And then before I let you go, we're continuing on with the road highway wars, and Governor Ivey has spoken. She's pushing through with this West Alabama corridor project, and it's going to be, she still wants it to be all state funds from that gas tax that was raised?
Yeah, and the reason they're doing the state funds is, it's pretty clear to me, they're trying to speed this thing up and get it finished as fast as possible. But there's a lot of pushback against it. A lot of people around the state are like, what are we doing here? There's no traffic out there. A lot of questions. And the other thing that's really working against the governor here that she has not addressed is that the cost keeps going up and up and up and up. They're not able to get a handle on the cost for this project. It's in they got a problem here. They don't get this done by the time she leaves office. It may never get done because I think the next governor and the governor after that are going to be like, no way, there's no point in this. And that's where it's going to wind up.
Well, and I know everybody that's along the proposed path, like local officials and the governor herself, are saying, well, this would create all sorts of economic development in the state. We represent the whole state, and I respect and want to help the Black Belt grow. Do you buy this argument? If we build a 4-lane, you're going to start to see economic growth in that area?
No, and there's no people there, so you can't really grow an economy when there's not a population. Look, if you want to represent the whole state, and listen to very carefully what she's saying, that's fine. But when you're representing the whole state where there's nobody there, are you really representing the whole state, or are you taking away from parts of the state to give to parts where there's no people? Because there's a lot more people in Montgomery, Alabama right now probably dealing with a congestion and traffic than there are in Demopolis, Alabama. Is that representing the whole state when you make these grand overtures about, we're going to build a road into Black Belt? Are you getting 1 mile of road per voter or whatever? I mean, it doesn't really add up proportionately. I just missed that whole argument there.
Well, and even the critics, I believe Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth was saying, okay, we could do both, but wait for federal matching funds. What's the price tag? Something, it's right at $1 billion, right?
At $1 billion, start out $600 million, and it's been escalating ever since. The reason they haven't gone for federal money is pretty clear, is they want to rush this project through. It takes years to get federal money, plus it takes a lot longer to build the road. I mean, federal money comes with a bunch of hoops, so you have to have maybe you have to have a bicycle lane, or you have to have something, all this environmental stuff. You need a certain brand or grade of cement or concrete or asphalt, and all that stuff takes time. There's no time for that, so they're trying to rush it. That's what's going on.
Well, there you go. More. It's funny. I hear these old stories about George Wallace, and it's the same daggum topics for the most part. Like, where are we going to lay down some pavement here? But I always appreciate your time, Jeff. If folks want to follow you, what you're thinking about, writing about, how can they do so?
Twitter.com/Jeff_4. That pretty much gets the job done.
Well, I appreciate you not giving me any ballyhoo or balderdash today, because I'm not in the mood, folks. But always great to talk to you, Jeff.
Thanks again, Joey.
And Jeff Poor there, editor-in-chief of 1819 News and host of the Jeff Poor Show there in Mobile, that whole area. Now, and I learned a lot from that guy, because I admit, and I think you're this way, Eddie, we kind of look at state politics and just go, rah!
Yep.
And there are, don't get us wrong, there are good people, there are people who are earnest, they think they're doing the right thing, but sometimes
because you think you're doing the right thing.
Doesn't mean it's true. And
that's the problem, Joey.
And we're equal opportunity offenders. It could apply to us.
All the time.
It could apply to us, but we don't have political power of the government to steal from people legitimately.
I got nairn.
Right. So, so I appreciate Jeff's insights. Like, he knows a lot of where the bodies are buried. He knows a lot of the workings of this state, and I always appreciate him on the program. This part of News and Views, another group of folks I appreciate. Bath Innovations of Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Brad McDowell, he's the founder, still the owner there. Founded Bath Innovations in 1994, built it up by his bootstraps with hard work, perseverance, motivation, and the goal has always been to keep customers happy, and they've been doing it for almost 30 years. Their goal is actually to serve every household in this area, which is that's an ambitious goal, but
that's a very big
shoot for the moon, if you will.
Well, why not?
Yeah, and when you go to bathinnovations.com, you're like, I think we're about to have a lunar landing here, folks. Because look at all the options, especially the brand new tech you have.
Yes.
Whether it's for safety, accessibility issues, maybe you're getting older, you're not as sure-footed as you used to be. Or it could be you've got some other disability. They've got those like safety bar railings, anti-slip mats, and seats. They can convert a traditional bathtub into a walk-in shower setup, which is much easier on folks.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you want to go with like space-age tech, these ABS acrylic shower systems, these high-strength polymer panels. Really amazing stuff that you can emboss any 4K image of any type of stone you like. So it could look like a walk-in marble shower straight from Greece or Italy or something.
Beautiful.
So if you're wanting to update that bathroom, and it could be a small fix like a chip tub or something, or it could be a full-on remodel, maybe you're buying another accessory or fixture, Bath Innovations of Alabama has it all. So again, go to bathinnovations.com, start to mix and match, see what you can get with your dreams, your budget, and then stop by 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery and tell Brad McDowell and that great team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More News and Views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36A, Equal Housing Lender.
Time out. It's time to call Carroll's Carpet Flooring America and freshen up for game day.
Make your home the preferred destination for game day Saturdays. They have top-of-the-line hardwood, carpet, laminate, tile, and luxury vinyl. They have everything you need. They also have interest-free financing. Don't forget, the holidays are right around the corner. You can go online and use the room visualizer, or go to the showroom and let them show you how your new flooring will look. carrollscarpetmontgomery.com, or visit their Montgomery or Prattville showrooms.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair. For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1 WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back, folks. Having way too much fun off the air.
Hey, don't forget, you got a famous person in studio.
Oh, yeah, the fellow who wrote They Cloned Tyrone.
That's right. That's right. He's in there with Fresh right now.
He is a Montgomery native, and hopefully we can get him here on the show, because anytime, especially somebody, this has been quite an accomplishment. It was a huge hit on Netflix, and I admit I have yet to watch it. Yeah, actually, we're talking about it here. So yeah, come on in. Yeah, we're setting this up. We were just talking about you, sir. And I'll admit straight up right here, I've yet to watch. I've seen the previews, and I know this is in Trey, right?
What's up?
Trey, how you doing?
Oh, Joel.
I'm sorry?
Oh, Trey? What?
I'm sorry.
Nope, it's
Joel. I'm sorry, Joel.
Oh, that's all good.
Like, so how did this all come about? For folks who don't know, you wrote a movie called They Clone Tyrone, a lot of huge stars in it. It's done incredibly well on Netflix. And so, like, how did this come about? Like, that you found yourself in this industry and finding the success?
I went to grad school at USC. So I was at USC for grad school, met a friend of mine who I would go on to start screenwriting with. So I actually got into it from screenwriting. So over, kind of the year or so after I graduated from grad school, did a fellowship with Universal, screenwriting fellowship with Universal. Out of that, got a couple of smaller jobs, and serendipitously enough, ended up a friend of mine directed Creed 2 and wanted me to write it.
Yeah.
So so that's how I got the Creed 2 job.
Wow.
And so co-wrote that. We did that with Sylvester Stallone.
Yep.
And from there, it was like, kind of a lot of screenwriting. And just in the screenwriting mix, you know what I'm saying, got to know a lot of people at different studios, people at, Warner Brothers, Universal, etc. And so when the time came to try to make my own movie, we pitched to a lot of warm rooms. We knew a lot of people. We developed a lot of relationships with the studios over the course of a couple of years of screenwriting, and had a couple of people who wanted to hear the pitch, took it out. Fortunately, couple places wanted it, and for some strange reason, people kept saying yes, and so we kept walking through the doors that kept opening, and so from there, I think just getting the talent was really, it was laborious, but it was, it took a couple of years to get the cast.
Really, it took a couple of years.
Yeah, because what happens is the schedules don't line up sometimes.
Right.
You might have an actor attached to a role that another movie comes and takes. So they're locked on, they're signed on, and then,
I got you.
Marvel comes calling, and then now they're on a Marvel movie. You have someone who's like, oh, I can only do it from this time to this time, and then it's like, so you're trying to, it's like playing musical chairs with, and the bigger the actor,
the harder, I imagine.
The less window, the more booked out in advance. So it's like it gets like you're really playing Jenga with the schedules. So it can be super, super time consuming. I mean, sometimes it comes together, if it's a sequel.
I was going to say, does it ever just come together where you go, wow, what just happened?
Creed was like that. Creed 2 was like that. It was, I got the job, started writing that in December. The movie came out the following Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So it was,
yeah.
But, it was a sequel though. So, they already had Rocky. We had Sly, Michael B. Jordan. Like the cast was pretty much there.
Yeah.
And so, and because it's like Rocky 7, you know what I'm saying? Like they all the same producers, the Winklers, like all the people who've been involved with the movie. There's like a lineage of producers, a lineage of people who know. MGM's been making these movies for decades, and so when the machine gets running, it's like it's a machine. And
you don't have to reinvent the wheel,
And if you're not reinventing the wheel, which every movie is like kind of reinventing, it's
what I
really miraculous.
Starting over from scratch,
It is. It's pretty crazy. But when you're dealing with something that's a sequel, I'm assuming like I've never worked on Fast and Furious, but I would imagine it'd be something similar where it's like you probably have your assistant directors, you clearly have your cast, you have stunt people who drive the cars in every movie. There's some continuity there that I think expedites the process for sure.
And again, folks are talking to Joel Taylor, and watch They Clone
It's
Tyrone,
great. I've seen it
directed and
times.
written.
Wow!
The first time I saw it I've seen the preview, I think on Netflix. I was like, what is this? And then I realized that was Jamie Foxx. I was like, what is this? So then my wife and I, we decided to watch it one night, and I was like, that was just, it was a movie that grabbed me from the beginning and didn't let go to the end. I really enjoyed that movie.
I
really enjoyed that movie.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm probably the one guy on this nerd radio station that pushes it, but I love this movie.
Oh, no, it's all good.
It's great, man.
we hitting all the crevices, all the cracks, man. We put it, we trying to put it everywhere.
Where did you, okay, so you wrote the film, but where did you get the idea of drugging chicken in the community? I mean, there's just so many things where I'm like, oh boy, where'd you get this idea from, and where'd you pull that from? That's my biggest thing.
I mean, I think all the conspiracies in the movie, having fun with the conspiracies. Yeah. I think it's once upon a time. There was a window when I first got to college that, like, I mean, it comes from a lot of places, but I always loved I always loved conspiracy content. Yeah. Even just as like a passerby,
right?
So I remember when Alex Jones was like just a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I remember InfoWars, and I remember, like watching Bohemian Grove documentaries. He's like the owl statue. He's sneaking in. He's like wearing robes. It's like I remember like this is the days before YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It was right. And I remember like all the documentaries that used to come out, and like David Icke or Robert Icke. His name is Icke. He's the one. He's the one who thought people were reptiles, right?
Yeah, like fifth dimensional aliens.
Oh, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go down these like crazy, these crazy like rabbit holes of like documentaries, and I always just thought it was fascinating because like mathematically, as crazy as it sounds, it's like mathematically the same way. Mathematically, there must be aliens. Some of these conspiracies mathematically gotta. I'm not saying people are aliens. I'm not talking about people drinking adrenochrome, but I think something happened somewhere.
Yeah,
all these conspiracies can't all not be true just from the terms of sheer probability.
Right.
The same way there must be aliens because there are quadrillions of galaxies, planets and galaxies and trillions of stars.
And we certainly can't be the only one. So
mathematically, that's nigh impossible. In the same way, it's like there are thousands of conspiracies. So I know, the fun is just like imagining that they're all true. You know what I'm saying? And so I think once you start going down that lane of having fun with those conspiracies, then you start thinking, where is it? It's in the food. It's in what you're watching. It's in what you're listening to. In all these different forms of consumption. And at that point, you're trying to see just how weird can we get, I
love it. I love it. They're sitting in the restaurant, and when it hits them,
oh yeah.
I mean, there are just so many points in that movie. Just like when they were walking through, when they realized they were being cloned, and they went and found themselves in the cloning machines. I mean, there was just some really powerful moments in that movie, and there were some hysterical moments.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely great.
And I try to prepare out of respect that this just kind of happened here.
Yeah, I'll just walk right by the thing. I love this is the best kind of interview. It's just like
he's been pushing me to watch it, so I'll watch it tonight. And
I'll not be disappointed, man.
And I just got this big 85-inch TV. Let's throw it up. I've been watching movies like crazy, mostly 100%. Classics. But are there certain movies that a lot of directors will do this, like references to movies you love or a style you love?
100%. Yeah, like I think They Live, it's a big reference. So there's kind of like a few different references for different reasons. There's like, a story kind of references like Truman Show, They Live. It's The Matrix. It's analogous to those from a plot point of view. I mean, They Live, John Carpenter, like very like inspirational. From a patina, it's kind of like a modern blaxploitation, so there's a lot of like Superfly and the Mac in it,
which I loved. Every bit of that, just it drew me in further and further.
And from tonally, I think it's more living in the land of like Boogie Nights, Jackie Brown, Big Lebowski, and from a world building ethos, it's more like because there's some like temporal dissonance, there's some anachronisms in the movie. If you watch it, we never know what city they're in.
Right.
There's certain things that seem like they're in the 80s, they might be in the 90s, even though you have enough evidence to know that it's not a period piece. And that's kind of like Napoleon Dynamite and this movie called It Follows, which was great. That came out about almost 10 years ago now, which is like crazy. But so there's a lot of homages, a lot of inspiration, and definitely the North Star was like, if we can make They Live again, but just in a very different way.
and all those films you named are some of my favorites there. So I've been just putting it off because I got into the whole One Piece season that came out recently. So I went down that rabbit hole recently.
Yeah, I'm on Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 right now.
Yeah,
so I'm on my anime tip as well.
Yeah.
Now, it's always like a little perilous to ask about, is there like a deeper message here? It sounds like, though, that just that frame of mind of conspiracy, like the Matrix, the red pill, blue pill thing, I mean, that's kind of all the rage these days, that we often talk with politics. We're looking at the same screen but seeing a different movie often.
Oh, for sure.
And so is it kind of a suggestion of, like, it sounds like you, from what you just said, you put the audience in a disorienting position so your experience with the characters are. And that seems like life these days.
I mean, it's for sure life. You know what I mean? I think, it's definitely open to interpretation. You know what I'm saying? I think we really tried our best not to make it feel didactic or preachy in any kind of way. Because I mean, like it touches on a lot of like social observations. You know what I'm saying? But we try to do it in a way that was. We just want to make something that we would watch, you know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of people have, like, gotten a lot of different things out of it. But I mean, there's definitely nowadays, you know what I'm saying? I think there's a mutual, there's like a collective distrust of authority in general, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's, part and parcel of what's going on in this movie.
And I was talking to somebody this morning. I always cite, they're asking like the standards change and how disoriented the world is. I always cite that there's a 1999 interview with David Bowie, and the interviewer's asking, like, is it like a fax machine or a better delivery system of your music? And Bowie said, no, darling, this is like a space alien just landed. And I'm wondering, especially if you look at the world of Twitter or social media across the board, what the effect the internet's had on us.
Oh, man.
Especially this mindset.
100%. I think, the internet allows for a hyper curation of your point of view, right? So
Absolutely.
It's most of the time, you read the New York Times, or I mean, if you not to get into political stuff, but like newspapers have political slants, and I'm sure have always had political slants. But most of the time, you read a newspaper, and most people get their news from a newspaper. You don't have to anymore. You get your news from wherever you want to get it from,
right?
And it's like an Ouroboros in a lot of ways, right? The feedback loop, feeds itself. So. Yep. You can distill your worldview however you see fit, and in this day and age, other people can distill it for you.
That might be a good description of the show, Eddie. A snake eating its own tail. I think that might be. We try not to be that way.
But I can tell you,
we try not to be that way. But and it's also cool to where you mentioned Alex Jones earlier, where he was on the Epstein thing early.
He's been in that space for a very, very long time.
No, he's crazy. He's made some mistakes.
I'm not like I haven't watched anything Alex Jones has made in like 15 years, but I just like consuming stuff, like you know what I'm saying. And so when I was freshman in college, high school, like I consumed everything. I mean, even if I don't agree with it, even if I don't believe in the same conspiracy, I still would like to know. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just curious in that way. So even back then, I don't know if I believed in Bohemian Grove
or turning the freaking frogs gay or whatever.
I don't know if I believed in that, but I was very fascinated by it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
so
interesting. I mean, nonetheless, they're interesting characters.
100%. So I'm fully, I like to go down weird rabbit holes and like, you know what I'm saying? And so I would 100%, I would just follow threads, you know what I'm saying? And so, and just kind of come to my own conclusions, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's like, I know it's like this, where do he get his information from? The internet, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to trust. Oh, I did my research on it. It's like, yeah, but the person you researched is probably on the internet, who probably researched. Again, it just comes back to the snake eating his tail. So,
and for folks who don't know, you're born and raised here in these parts, right?
100%. I'm from Tuskegee. Grew up in Montgomery. Like, I went to Georgia, Washington. I went to Lamp.
Nice. There you
go. So
nice.
100%.
Well, it's great to see your success because you would know better than me the thousands of people when you're there at USC. The thousands of people have these hopes and dreams of writing and directing big pictures, and you've done it. And it's a great thing to see, man.
Well,
it
thank
really
y'all,
is.
man. I appreciate you.
I really enjoyed your product.
Oh, thank you so much.
Are you working on anything else? Do you have anything else in the
I mean,
pipeline?
with the strike, it's like nobody's working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like once the strike is over, we want to, my writing partner, dude I'm with the USC with, the next thing we want to put together and pitch is actually the movie that he'll direct. You know, and
cool.
Then, so
well, man, it's great seeing somebody from Montgomery excel, especially when I could see that on the big screen, and now I'm meeting you in person. It's great, man.
Well, and then, given your your expertise in this, I'm interested. Are there any big movies or maybe more niche movies that people don't know about that you're looking forward to seeing?
I mean, a movie that I just saw that I love was Bottoms. Funny enough,
Bottoms.
It's called Bottoms. It's I don't like the less you know about it, the funnier it is.
Bottoms.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a crazy movie. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Miyazaki's last movie.
Okay.
The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah.
Animated Studio Ghibli. And so that's what I'm really looking forward to coming up.
I might have on HBO Max put Spirited Away on the other night.
Once or twice, a time or two. We might have delved into the Ghibli rabbit holes a time or two and watched Tales of Earthsea once or twice.
Well, Joel, it's just great meeting you.
Yeah.
I think we'd get along great, man. And I appreciate you just very impromptu stopping by. And
it's the best kind.
Yeah, it was. If you're ever in the neighborhood again, man, come on by.
Oh no, for sure, man, 100%.
Yeah, I'd like to pick your brain off air.
Oh, for sure.
Well, folks, y'all check it out. They Cloned Tyrone on Netflix,
Great
streaming
movie.
now. It's
Oh man,
Great movie.
add to the success, folks.
thank y'all.
Appreciate you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometime.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back,
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes, I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look. And they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Well, don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
And right there, at that moment in time, usually they've either hung up or they are laughing so hard that they have no idea what to say.
Brian Tanner runs Epic Insurance out of Birmingham, Alabama. You're going to love this interview. And we get into commercial insurance trends as well. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at whatsworkingcam.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our great week of weather continues. Lots of sunshine again today, but tolerable humidity with a high temperature up to about 89. Clear skies, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low 64. For tomorrow and the last day of summer Friday, highs in the upper 80s again, but still not too humid. More sunshine, dry, storm-free. And continued nice on Saturday, the first day of fall, high 87. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. The weather's always changing. Hot as blazes 1 minute, raining cats and dogs the next. What doesn't change is the dependability of Kubota's L Series compact tractors to handle it all. Kubota and Capital Tractor in Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. For those of you watching on the live stream, I'm showing the poster for the movie They Cloned Tyrone. Eddie speaks highly of it, and I mean, it's been a big success. So I'd always support Montgomery talent, folks. And if you like these sorts of films, sort of that, like he said, all those references, Truman Show, Matrix, They Live, like, oh, that's a fun movie. So I'll watch it tonight.
You'll enjoy it.
Should have listened to you earlier. You know, sometimes you're smarter than you look.
Well,
I'm not, but
well, thank you, Joe.
Hey, Parker Snyder joining us now. Sorry for pushing our interview off here, but how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, I would do that too for the writer of Creed 2. That movie is amazing.
Right.
Thank you.
Right, and I can just tell from a few minutes talking to that guy, very talented.
Very talented, very sharp guy.
But
I don't know how you got him on your show.
He was doing an interview with our sister station right across the hall. They're like, "You want to talk to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll do it." So let's talk about Montgomery here. Now, this happened again with the city council, and I think it was being pushed as sort of just a test of the city. What is it? The American Christian Heritage Month, and there's a flag. It's been done in other places.
Yep.
And once again, the Montgomery City Council said, we're not going to fly that thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So a couple weeks ago on the 7th, Tuesday the 6th, I believe, actually, they had a attempt to pass this and to make September the American Christian Heritage Month. That was voted at first in favor, and then it was later tabled. So this is already in the middle of September at that point. And so they pushed it back to yesterday, and yesterday they had the same option to approve September as American Christian Heritage Month, and with that you would fly the American or the Christian flag, which is that white flag with the blue square at the top and the cross in the middle of that square. And they said, well, let's just push this off again, and we're just going to not vote on that. And so, it's already the end of September, basically, and so they essentially told them that we're not doing this year. And the interesting dynamic is the state or the city might be liable to, they might have to fly this flag because they've been flying other non-state, non-city flags in the LGBTQ flag, especially last June.
Well, and I'm looking at the write-up Caleb Taylor did for 1819 News, and he's citing there was a Supreme Court ruling that was unanimous in 2022 hitting the city of Boston for just that. So, yeah, this seems pretty cut and dry. I mean, I'm wondering what the holdup is. Like, why would this be such an issue at the end of the day?
Well, they're saying the people who don't want to do this are saying kind of something that doesn't really make any sense. They're saying that they don't want to start having flags from different, non-government official things because they don't want to start opening up the city to have flags from everybody. Nazi flags, all the worst case scenarios. They don't want to have to do that. But they're using the Supreme Court case as their reason. But the weird part is they've already done that with the gay flag, and so the Supreme Court case would already make them liable to put every single flag that a person in Montgomery wants to put up in the city hall or outside of city hall, and they'd have to do it. But the city council decided they don't want to do it, and we'll see if there's a legal suit after this. I'm not sure I'm not sure that's going to happen, but it definitely could.
Well, and it's kind of like, come on, pick a lane. And but also, at the end of the day, it's frustrating that this has to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. Can't we as a local community decide what flags we want to fly, what things we want to commemorate? The division is everywhere. It's kind of crazy.
A Christian flag?
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with it, but it's a Christian heritage
that's
flag.
my understanding.
It's pretty. I think it's pretty universal. It's talking about most denominations, I believe.
I thought so.
Yeah, if you went to VBS growing up or anything like that in a SBC church or a Methodist or Presbyterian church, they'd have that. Probably do the salute to the Christian flag, and so most of the people in Alabama have seen that. I think. Yeah, if Montgomery didn't want to start having religious flags outside of its city council, they should have not had the gay flag outside. And, they didn't, what probably happened was Steve Reed said, hey, let's do this. And nobody questioned him because he's the mayor. But they didn't think about the attorney. Clearly, the city attorney at that point did not think about or did not care to know about this Supreme Court case from 2022. And so some interesting advice that's going on. And, it's just pretty standard for urban cities to not want to fly Christian things.
Well, and then there's another Alabama story going a little bit north, folks, to Birmingham, that's really captured people's imagination. In fact, it was on Good Morning America here recently. But the minor high school band director Johnny Mims, he was tased, and this video went very viral. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble, folks, but I kind of am on Mims' side here.
Joey?
Oh, interesting. Did you see the full long video of the police talking to him and stuff?
No, I did not. So maybe I'm not seeing the full context here. But no, what's the full context here?
Well, you're seeing a lot of the context. But Good Morning America, that version, they showed the part where the police are tasing him, and the part a little bit before as the police go in to approach him. But there's a 5-minute or maybe actually 8-minute video that the Birmingham Police Department released. And it shows and this is not a race issue because these are all black people in this area, including the police officers, and they're going up, and you can tell the stadium is empty, except for the band. The lights are starting to turn off, and the police are basically in charge of making sure clearing the place out, so it's not somewhere where they have to be keeping an eye on things. And so the band is apparently continuing to do music. There's something called a fifth quarter. I don't know much about this, but if you're in marching bands, maybe your listeners do, but where they continue to play for a period of time after the game. And they were doing this, and the police officers were, one man, one woman that I saw, were talking to the band director and saying, hey, you need to stop. We gotta kick y'all out of here. We gotta shut this place down. And he wouldn't do it. And, the police officer got not in his face, but in front of him. And, from a respect the police viewpoint, the band director was not doing that. He was just hey, get out my face, man, get out my face, which is not, my advice for dealing with police. And, he was not willing to stop the band from playing, and the band kept playing really loud. And there's a moment where it looks like he was going to shut them down, and then he was like, nope, I'm going to keep going. And he's like, all right, you're really kind of pushing it here. But, then, of course, he gets tased, which is not obviously a good thing at all. But whether you think that was appropriate or not will probably depend on each individual's perspective. But he was resisting arrest, and he wasn't doing what the police were telling him to do. And so that's their angle. And Wandel Givon, a representative in the state house up here in Birmingham, is actually his attorney. So there's actually a couple of state politics levels here too.
It just, to me, that came out of what was sounded like a great night and good event, and the police could have waited a second.
I'm the boss.
Like, I don't know. Like, am I doing something illegal, officer? Am I being
the
detained?
boss.
Yeah. So I don't know. My libertarian's coming out in me on this one.
Yeah.
It seems like it should never have gotten to this point.
I'm the boss.
Even if the guy maybe didn't handle himself, Mr. Mims with the police as
with the kids and
eloquently
everything
as we
there,
might
you
want.
can't tell me there was not a better way to do this.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
I mean, they're all adults here except for the kids in the stand, but hey, we're instantly going to go, well, just tase him. We'll get him out of here that way. Come on.
Yeah, and to think about the kids having to watch that happen with their band director, and like escalation, the kids are going to get mad, start running around. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I hope they do squash this. I know that's what he's requesting.
So too,
just drop the charges. So, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. And I always appreciate your time, Parker. I know it's a bridge today, but if folks want to check out what you're doing, what you're thinking about, writing about, how can they do so?
Yeah, you can come visit our website at 1819news.com. We got all the news from across the state, including that video if you want to see it.
Appreciate it, Parker.
Thanks, Jerry.
Again, yeah, go watch the video, folks. It's one of the top stories there. You can decide for yourself, but I just think it shouldn't never have even gotten to that point. Like, come on, man.
That's me. Yeah, we're all adults. I mean, I got problems with that.
So how about this? Let's hit our top of the hour
right.
break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And
that's right, Joey.
Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you men out. They're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. We often talk about how they can solve that low T problem for you. And I watched a good bit of the Kurt Angle, Joe Rogan interview last night, and they got talking about how important testosterone is, especially because, I think both Rogan and Kurt Angle are in their 50s now. And so they feel like great, and their body feels normal, like it's functioning normally as a man's should. But it's not just low testosterone treatments there at Montgomery and South. They have treatments across the board that can help you in that regard. $99 in about an hour, you can know your testosterone numbers, and they can help you out if you do, in fact, have low T. But it's also stuff like ED or PE, which is worse. We don't have to talk about that.
Thank you.
Or it could be it's not testosterone, but you're just still tired, sluggish, run down, maybe a slow metabolism. Maybe something else going on with you. They can, even when they do that testosterone test, they'll get you a PSA score, which is a great marker for prostate health.
Right.
Less invasive.
A lot less invasive.
Check that. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Again, they're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. 440-3663. Again, that number, 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Biden has met with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. The president said even though his administration doesn't always see eye to eye with Netanyahu, the U.S. is committed to Israel's security. Azerbaijan and Armenian forces reaching a ceasefire agreement to end 2 days of fighting in the separatist Nagorno-Karabakh region that has been a flashpoint for decades now. 2 teens in Las Vegas arrested and face murder charges as adults in a hit and run that the boys captured on video. 64-year-old Andreas Probst, a former police chief in California, was killed. Video shows the teens speaking about intentionally striking and killing the man. On Wall Street, the Dow had 218 points, the Nasdaq down 13 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our great week of weather continues. Lots of sunshine again today, but tolerable humidity with a high temperature up to about 89. Clear skies, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low 64. For tomorrow and the last day of summer Friday, highs in the upper 80s again, but still not too humid. More sunshine, dry, storm-free. And continued nice on Saturday, the first day of fall, high 87. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
The Alabama Supreme Court is hearing a case this week that involves destroyed embryos. 3 families have appealed that case to the state Supreme Court after it was dismissed by a Mobile Circuit Court. The families had embryos stored at a hospital facility when one of the patients entered the fertility clinic and removed those embryos, destroying them. The plaintiffs want to hold the hospital administration responsible and are seeking compensatory damages. The Mobile judge did not find the embryos to qualify as children. However, the plaintiffs say that regardless of the judge's definition, the hospital failed to protect the embryos as agreed upon. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A manhunt is underway in Elmore County. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency has troopers at the scene in search for a man who fled on foot after an attempted traffic stop on Tuesday. The driver refused to stop the car and eventually ditched the car and fled the scene. A car was found submerged in waters at the Wheeler Wildlife Refuge. A body was found floating near that car when crews went into the waters to pull the vehicle out. The submerged vehicle was first reported by a cyclist going by the area on Tuesday morning. An autopsy will be conducted. A flatbed tractor trailer and oncoming train were involved in a crash in Lee County. The collision happened at County Road 61 and State Road 14. The driver of the tractor trailer died as a result. His identity is not being released at this time. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you're like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for
for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And plenty more to get to, but Urbanite called in during the break, and he's been very patient here on the phone line. Hey, Urbanite, how you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. That Joelle Taylor stopping by. It was a pleasant surprise. I always love meeting folks like that.
Hey, I was cracking up I woke up this morning to that nut job from Birmingham on the CBS News with them, the woe is me, like it was some major civil rights problem or something.
Well, I don't think it's that. And I admit fully, I just kind of saw a little bit of this, did a quick take on it, but you don't.
But, they emphasized the fact he was tased. But, I know the adrenaline, you perform, Joey, and I perform, and you get the adrenaline flowing, and you want the party going, but, a professional knows how to cut it off. And I'm thinking to myself, the old tradition, which is a woe-out tradition from my time, of the bands wasting time, was great when stuff didn't cost money. But now, light bill, overtime with the cops, I would give him the darn bill if I was a school superintendent.
So,
he would be paying
thank you, Bidenomics. We can't do the fifth quarter anymore.
Here's the deal on the fifth quarter. And if I remember from the CBS News report, they went on over 20 minutes. So, hell, they did a fifth quarter. They were done. That's more than enough. I'm sure there was some kid that needed to get home and do his damn homework. They need to, it's dumb. It was always dumb back in the day to sit there and go back and forth with each other when everybody was leaving the damn
But it's
stadium.
been doing it since back in the day. Why all of a sudden is this a problem here?
Because that nut job didn't listen to instructions. See, that's what I'm getting at. You know me, I'm an authoritarian.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, the cops said, break it up. It's time to break it up. There's nothing to be gained from it. Nobody's making any money off of it. And you're spending money left and right now because once again, security overtime, light bill. And I shall give him the bill. If I was the superintendent, that's the only way he'd keep his job. And if any little sweetheart students decide they want to protest, oh yeah, they're going to in-school suspension. In a room with nothing. With
nothing. Now, and sometimes I do forget, Urbanite, that you're kind of that you loot, we shoot sort of guy.
Yeah, all right, have a good one, guys.
Hey, you too, Urbanite. See you, man.
No, he said stuff. I go, oh man, all right, yeah, forget he's a hardcore.
Get nothing.
He's hardcore. No, I don't think it's the civil rights issue of our time. It's like it just shouldn't have gotten there in the first place.
I just don't see why it got there. But have you ever gone to a Little League game? I mean, you got
the parents.
So we can't just say the adults because adults are
I did a short stint where I was a referee.
Oh, Joey.
For the elementary, middle school basketball league for Catholic, like small league, like not that many people.
How old were the kids?
I think they were like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
It was So like me calling fouls and stuff, I just called the most blatant thing.
Right.
And you give them a little leeway on double dribbles and travel to it's their kids. But if it was blatant, you had to call it. And as soon as you called it, one coach, I'm not going to name him, but he was like screaming his head off, like he's John Knight or something.
Job, baby.
He's throwing a chair.
That's
I'm like,
kids.
No, and I really did. It's the first time ever. I remember being a kid because I was just a teenager. I was in high school. So I look at this grown man and go, sir, I will throw you out if you don't stop talking to me this way.
How did he
because
respond?
It was so over the top. He shut up. He realized he was being, because it's a small school, it's a small community. He realized he was being a bit absurd when I kind of said, come on, man.
He didn't go into, I am the adult here and you are the child, kid. Take yourself back on the court before I hurt you. He didn't go into that mode?
He didn't go, I'm a man, I'm 40, that sort of thing. No, he didn't do that. But I know from it wasn't just him. That was the worst case. I know from firsthand experience, there are some parents, even at a young age, my baby didn't do anything wrong. That's not a foul. I'm like, he choke slammed that other kid.
My mom might have beat up my little league coach at one point.
Really?
Yeah, and probably my sister's little league softball coach as well at one point.
Goodness
So I know how
gracious.
the parents are. And I will be honest with you, it was on us. It wasn't the coach, it was us.
Now, there's a meme making the rounds.
Oh, I love a good meme.
You brought it up with me. And the answer for me is yes. But it to me describes this divide between men and women, how we are. We're equal for the most part. We can all be affected by the same things, but there are clear temperamental differences.
Oh, yes.
Differences in interest. And so the question going around, it's the theme of the meme is a video meme where a wife behind the camera will go up to her husband and go, honey, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Oh, yeah.
So how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Me, personally, hardly ever.
Really?
I just don't.
I didn't know you were a woman.
I just don't. Until this thing came up, I didn't know so many men thought of it so often.
I think about it pretty regularly.
What is it you think about? Like the robes, the freedom, what did you think about?
The robes? The freedom?
I mean, what did you think about? It's the Roman Empire. I mean, what did you think about?
No, you get reading the Aeneid, and then you're like, okay, like it's an origin story. It's a big mythical story of the West. And then you start thinking about the actual history of how Caesar, so to speak, rise and fall. Then you think about the civic traditions that we still have to this day. I mean, you think about the architecture. You think about the engineering accomplishments. You think about how our Judeo-Christian way of life is sprung because Christianity essentially takes over that empire. And how did it fall? When did it fall? Was it when it split between East and West? So, there's so many questions. You're talking about thousands of years of history here.
I just don't have that many questions about it.
I'm wondering, though, does Byzantium count if you bring that up? The Greek-speaking side. Xanadu, yeah. Exactly. But so you never really think about the Roman Empire whatsoever.
I don't. I mean, we were like going to Turkey, we went through a lot of the ruins and things like that. And then I kind of visualized what was going on. It was kind of cool to walk the same streets that I know these people walked hundreds of years ago. But no, I think August is the only time I really think about it, and that's because Augustus.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
I mean, keep it simple. That's it.
So you're a fan of Octavian then?
Well, you know, it's fall.
Can you tell me about the first triumvirate?
No, probably was loud and early in the morning. And I probably didn't appreciate it.
Pompey and Crassus and Caesar working together?
No.
You know, Crassus, though, in order to get his own glory, tries to invade what I guess is like modern-day Iraq, Persia sort of thing.
How'd that work out for him?
He was captured, all his troops killed, and they poured molten gold down his throat. Why wouldn't you want to think about this stuff all the live long day? It's awesome.
Okay, every once in a while, when someone stabs me in the back, I do let out a et tu, Brute. But other than that, really it.
Shakespeare.
I mean, that's all I got.
I forgot how, quoting Shakespeare, how sweet you are, so to speak. Line one, who's this? You're on there.
Red Top.
Hey, Red Top.
First of all, Joey, about the coach that listened to you, he knew your uncle was a Monsignor.
He might have.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah. You guys don't know about Monsignors, but they're the big shot, and you don't go messing with the Monsignor's nephew if you're smart in the Mobile diocese, correct?
Well, he wasn't a Monsignor then, but yeah, I know important people within the Catholic Church.
Yes, and you know what? They got some damn weight. We know that. And how bizarre a question. This is, I'm about to be 70. I've never heard anybody ask, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Thank you.
This is just pure nonsense. I mean, people have absolutely nothing to do.
No, but the men all over the world and the country are going, yeah, I think about it all the time.
Honestly, Red Top, I'm amazed how many men, grown men, in their life ask this question and got answers.
Who are these dumb damn men that are saying they think about the Roman Empire? What is this collection? Where did you get this?
You can either go to the Civil War or you can look at Greece and Rome, usually. If you're a guy and you want to get in. Napoleon's also all the rage these days, too.
You want to study some of that?
But yeah, studying history is fascinating. And I think about it because, I mean, you start studying political philosophy, you're going to have to address Rome and the influence of the West.
Are you saying everybody's a history geek nerd?
No, but if you want to be kind of that armchair historian where you're not doing it academically, but you're having fun, you're a guy.
Right.
There's so many resources now. Like they've got YouTube channels dedicated with amazing graphics of like all the different battles throughout history. And it's fun to go down the rabbit hole. It's like, Joey, did you watch the Auburn, California? No, I'm learning about Napoleon at Waterloo. Excuse me.
I see. Boy, I tell you, the women are going to go wild over that one.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, and here's the deal: all these wives who are asking their husbands, and the husbands say, "Yeah, I think about it like once a day, or at least 2-3 times a week." The Roman Empire. They're like, "Why?" The wives, you're like a woman too. You and Eddie,
Joey. These husbands weren't even listening to the question; they're just answering yes or no.
True statement.
You've never been married, obviously. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Thank you, Red Top. 272-9228. No, I'm just saying, like, when I saw this meme making the rounds, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? I'm like, pretty often. Now, I'm not, like, fixated on it. For me, it's not an everyday thing. But it will come up when you start to think about history and politics these days.
I mean, what spurs it? Like, somebody drive by in a toga or something, and you go, oh, yeah, I got to think about the Roman Empire right now. I mean, I don't get it. You see a certain piece of architecture, an arch perhaps, and that brings it back?
No, when you think about how they're inflating the money supply, and we see inflation numbers, and they act like, though, this is because of the science.
Mm-hmm.
The experts, the quantitative folks up here running the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department, we're doing what's best for the country and best for you.
Okay.
But you can go, yes, I'm sure Emperor Diocletian was really doing the best by people by devaluing and their coinage. And it ruined the empire. You can look at parallels. You put on price controls. I
get what you're saying. You just choose to go, and obviously other people choose to look further back in history than I do.
Learn a book. Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
You went to the right man. Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. There's a quote. It's one of my favorites by Croesus. And the Roman man, he said, "You are not truly wealthy until you can afford your own army." And yeah, he got him some cavalrymen and some infantrymen, and he went over into Persia and got his butt handed to him. The Persians, they separated him and encircled him. And I love it. The cavalry, they're the first to go because they're on horseback. I see the tide was turning, and they left, and the infantrymen were slaughtered. And he was not a good general. He thought through force he could just go in there and do his will. Anyway, I got that from the 10 Greatest Battles. It was a DVD set
Right.
I saw some years ago. Yeah, man, and that was it was a great battle for him.
Like seriously, Eddie, you've never Eddie here, Sam, you've never nerded out on like war history of any kind?
Yeah.
Which one?
Honestly, just whatever caught my attention at that particular
No,
time.
the common ones are left out. World War II.
Yeah.
The Civil War is often a thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like antiquity, so Greece and Rome often come up.
No, I'm a more Vietnam era guy.
Vietnam? Oh no,
My
that's
grandfather's
that's
in World War II, and I had a couple of relatives in World War II, and they told me more than I ever wanted to know about it.
Oh, they actually talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, it's always the little details that's terrifying. Hey, Joey, while we're having fun talking little movies and stuff in history, it wasn't, but just a few months ago, I picked up the DVD set on the Coliseum. It was a series the History Channel did, and our local library got it in. And, man, it just gave me a great primer refresher on Roman history. And because the Coliseum, anyway, but it's just, yeah, man, so much good, so much well done, the 5 great emperors, but you get just a few people here or there in positions of authority making poor choices and just can wreck an empire. That's what we're seeing here in America right now. This Marxist leftist crazy push from the simplest things. They don't want us to have the automobiles, no air conditioning. Oh man, when they shut down the talk radio, that's when it's going to cross my line. But anyway, I hate to hear about your tummy. No,
but it's been a good day so far, so we're going to
There you go. Hey, man, the show's been great.
You'll be fine.
Oh no, I said Eddie, I sent you a funny thing. I got a thing from Sonic. One of their, today they got quarter-pound, foot-long chili dogs, $1.99. Come on, that'd be perfect for a good old sour time.
Kind of tempting.
That's it. But, another thing about the I remember from "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker." I'm gonna get you, sucker. with Dave Chappelle was in it, and a bunch of folks. But they came after the black community, the man, with they were drugging the fried chicken.
Yep.
And I just thought, but anyways. And one last thing about Dave Chappelle. Mims fella, I hate it for him, but remember Dave Chappelle in the show, he used to have those little thing where he said about keeping it real.
Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong.
That's it. Mr. Mims, he chose the inappropriate time to keep it real.
Yep.
And police, like I said, if it hadn't been tased, what was they going to hit him in the head with a nightstick?
Or you could let him finish playing.
I don't care.
Joey.
Are you up there playing music?
Right.
You're breaking the law.
No, I just sometimes, excuse me, pardon me, there are times and I see these videos where it's like, I'm a cop, I told you to do something, son. Am I doing anything illegal, sir?
Some people have a bad day. And it just,
people have a bad day.
It was just a tragic event. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
Anyways, I enjoyed calling y'all and pulling your chain a little bit. I hope your guts feel better soon, son.
Appreciate
it. See you, Sammy.
Yes, sir.
All right, I do forget, and I do think about the Roman Empire when I have a longing to see the History of the World Part 1 again with Mel Brooks.
Right. I forgot how silly of a person. Not only are you sweet, you're so silly. You're such a silly goose.
That was a great movie.
Well, no, in all seriousness, this idea of there's a crisis of meaning out there, and I really do think the lack of trust people have in institutions is a sign of there's not something orienting us. One thing that a lot of young men in particular are going to, it's made a huge comeback, is Stoic philosophy.
Yep.
And so, one of the great 5 emperors, Marcus Aurelius, his Meditations it's on my shelf. It is a brilliant, brilliant book. Now, did he follow through all the time? No, you let your actual born son Commodus take over, and it all went to crap, Marcus. I guess he wasn't around to see it. But yeah, that actually, what is it, Ryan Holiday, I think it's the guy's name, who essentially is doing the Daily Stoic. And it's a lot of people, very popular. So that stuff is making a comeback, and actually I think it's a healthy exercise, this sort of alloy of Western history along with Christianity and all our traditions. It's good to see those start to regain traction, rediscover who we are, so to speak. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services.
Great folks over there, Joey.
And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and her team can help you, with any sort of big pest control problem you might have. It could be you've got a whole network of fire ants that are really bedeviling your yard. Maybe your dog got into some subterranean yellow jackets. That's no fun. Like, that really actually could hurt an animal.
It does hurt.
And it could hurt you.
Yeah. Not just the animal.
I used the dog as an example, but if you step on it, that's going to hurt you too.
The dog runs right by you.
Could be you got a wasp nest up in the attic. You're like, what is this? Or you're seeing way too many cockroaches for the season.
We got a problem there.
Pest Pro can help you with those specific needs, termites, mosquitoes. But you might as well go ahead and make them your everyday pest control company. They'll come by on a quarterly schedule, and they've got a great team of folks. They're growing by leaps and bounds because they're just that good. Everybody keeps hearing about Pest Pro. They're like, wow, we got to stick with them. This is the popular thing because it's the right thing.
It's the right thing to do.
So call, yes, sir. So call up Ashley and her team at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It's fall, y'all, at Mama's Produce, and boy, do we have what you need. We have mums of every color. Corn stalks will be in soon, pumpkins. We have fall flowers and fall vegetables. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, Mama's Produce. We post what we have as soon as it comes in so that you're right there. Check out our gift ideas as well.
Y'all come on down to Mama's, right next to Prattville Farm Center, 1154 South Memorial Drive. Everybody loves Mama's.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. What was that, Eddie?
I can't win sometimes, Joe.
It's just, no, you can't win. Sometimes you realize, man, I am one pathetic loser.
I don't realize that very often unless I'm naked and there's a mirror and I got a grilled cheese sandwich in my hand.
Yeah, but don't you, I mean, you talk to me pretty much every day, so you're like, what a pathetic loser.
No, you are my muse. I get inspired by you.
Your muse?
Yeah, I'm like, I never want to get that low in life.
I'm glad my wallowing is good for something.
Not at all, Joey. Not at all.
272-9228. Again, folks, we are live streaming the show, so
That's
just
right.
go to Joey Clark Live, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Trying to grow the audience, and I think this is a great way to check out the show.
I agree.
Even if you're
100%.
not actually watching, you can put it on the background
put it on the phone.
your
It plays perfect.
So, and we've got some comments coming in.
Oh, boy.
Well, first, let's go. He couldn't play for long today, but Romex Angler says, due to great weather, I'm heading to swing sticks. I guess he's golfing. But looking good today, Eddie. Joey, the hat for today is a winner. Are those natural curls shining in the back? And it's more wavy. I wish I had Gary hair. Like my dad's hair, it's more curly, but...
Back in my day, Joey, what we used to do is we'd get that back part curled. And the front part would be straight.
And another guy says, Dead Top is 70 and still a gibbering idiot. Oh, I shouldn't have read that.
Joe.
That's just mean.
No, some people.
Eric the dog says, what are the H are you talking about, Joey? We cavemen don't think that far back or guard, for that matter.
Right. I'm with you 100%, Eric. I don't think that far back.
Joe, read a book. I don't even know why you like me. Let's go to Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Hey, I think I'm trying to get to the curb of the problem in Birmingham with the band director.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, Birmingham have city schools.
Right.
And they fall under the city government, such from the mayor on down. And also the police officer does, too. So they probably asked him to vacate his city property at a proper time. And he probably refused. But now, on the second hand, I go along with you. Well, there's an attempt to do any bodily harm to them. Did he threaten them or did he do any body harm to anybody else? So that's the only time a police officer is supposed to use his weapon.
I can't argue with that.
Right.
And also, if this is such a long-running tradition, like, why was there a loss in communication here? Why was there a breakdown in communication here? I just don't get it.
True that, but once if he asked them to leave and they refused to leave. Well, he should have made an arrest before he did the shooting.
Yeah. And aren't the kids, though, just as guilty? They didn't leave.
Right. So it sound like it was one of them things like, I'm bigger than you, I'm badder than you, and I'm not going to listen to you, but wait a minute, I got the weapon.
Yeah. I got the badge and I got the gun.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it, Robert.
See you, Robert.
They're trying to destroy the music, Eddie.
I know, man. They're just playing music.
Yeah, they're trying to destroy the music. That's no excuse in a court of law, but...
I just don't get it. Were they playing anti-cop music? Were they playing Ice-T?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Nice pull. I haven't listened to any of his stuff in a while.
That's good stuff.
Hey, let's go to the phones and talk to Randy. Hey, Randy.
What's up, Randy?
Hey, guys. Hey, Joey, who put sour cream on your biscuits today? You had kind of a mood, ain't you, there? Buddy?
I have a sour... I'm dealing with a stomach thing, and so don't give me any crap today, Randy.
I wouldn't think about doing that. I don't never give you crap, Joey, because you'll hang up on me if anybody I know. I just look like this, just so y'all know. Hey, my question is, you should have that attitude. You really do good for yourself, having them, you know who we talking about, calling in that you mentioned earlier, and I could add 2 or 3 more, but I won't say. I'm going to be a nice guy. Will be called sexual know-it-alls.
Did you say sexual know-it-alls?
Yeah, sexual know-it-alls. Put the word in sexual. You ain't getting it, are you?
Mm-mm. You've stumped me.
What's a sexy intellectual?
A sexy intellectual?
Yeah, that's an effing know-it-all.
Oh, okay.
I got it now.
Like I said, I have this stomach thing. I can't think very well today.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I'm not going to bore you with my conversation anymore. I've had enough airtime today to see you.
See you, Randy.
Appreciate it.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
Call back tomorrow. 272-9228. This is part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And have you had to go by there anytime recently?
I do need to go by there. I haven't yet. I've either got the battery or the virus or a combination of both. Where my
on your regular, everyday phone?
Yeah, my battery's just not lasting. By the time I get here at noon, I'm about 55%.
Well, that's not good.
It's not.
You don't have a charger in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really bad.
You see, as soon as I get here, I charge it the minute I get here.
Wow. Yeah, you need to get by XI Repair. Folks, if your battery's not holding a charge, you don't have to get a new phone. You don't have to do that at all. They can replace that battery for you. For instance, we're filming the live stream here in part with an iPhone 10 that I just held on to after upgrading. And the battery was not holding a charge on this iPhone 10. And I'm like, oh, what do I do with this thing? Well, they were able to replace the battery and clean out a dirty port.
Oh, that's right. You had the dirty port.
And it was like a little over $100. It only took them like an hour.
Nice.
Really? I mean, it's a heck of a deal. The phone's
better
working
than
like
a new phone, ain't it, Joey?
It's working like brand new. It's pretty awesome. A lot cheaper than a new phone. And of course, they can do repairs on cracked screens.
Yep.
They can do water damage repairs. They can even work on desktop, laptop computers.
Sure can.
So you brand new or refurbished smartphones.
They got them.
They can even do data recovery.
That's, to me, one of the big things they do.
So it could be you accidentally deleted something, didn't back it up. Or it could be you're going through a court battle, maybe a former business partner, maybe a divorce, and, somebody tried to delete incriminating messages. Well, have your attorney contact XI Repair. They can recover that.
They can
stuff.
recover that.
So check them out today. You can always go to xirepair.com. That's the letter X, the letter I, repair.com. Or give them a call at 777-1234. Again, that's 777-1234. And be sure to tell us fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views sent you. I want to catch up on a little time, and we'll come right back to Papa B.
Papa B!
After the break.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hello, this is Sky Mosley for the Alabama Gazette, your hometown conservative newspaper. The Alabama Gazette, always published under the banner of God, family, and country. They share your principles, your values, and the Alabama Gazette has the courage to defend those convictions in print. The Gazette celebrates their 24th anniversary, October 26th. There will be a big to-do downtown at their beautiful offices. The public is invited, food and fun for the entire family. Meanwhile, please consider advertising with the Alabama Gazette. They are most worthy of your support. Give them a call, 356-6700. Pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. That's the Alabama Gazette. 356-6700. Remember, advertising space is limited for that big 24th anniversary issue, so give them a call right now, 356-6700. The Alabama Gazette, informative, honest, trustworthy, your conservative alternative. That's the Alabama Gazette, 356-6700.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our great week of weather continues. Lots of sunshine again today, but tolerable humidity with a high temperature up to about 89. Clear skies, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low 64. For tomorrow and the last day of summer Friday, highs in the upper 80s again, but still not too humid. More sunshine, dry, storm-free. And continued nice on Saturday, the first day of fall, high 87. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to the program. Michael Victor on the live stream is saying, get some probiotics. Actually, not bad advice. I don't think it's that, though. Maybe it is.
Could be.
Could be. Maybe I'm just getting older.
Go eat some yogurt.
You've been getting older for a while.
Yeah.
Is this my future?
Yep. Just be glad. I told you, my future, that what happens to you happens to me about 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
On a regular basis?
On a regular basis.
You should go to the doctor, man.
I did.
What did they tell you, your SOL?
We're still running tests, but yeah, so far, yeah.
Welcome back to News and Views. Strange show today, but I'm not feeling good. But let's go to Papa B. Papa B.
Papa B. Yeah, I think about Rome when I see a movie like Gladiator.
Okay.
Or I think about ancient Greece when I see the 300 or whatever.
And yet, when I watch Alexander, Oliver Stone's Alexander, I think about Liberace. I don't know why.
Merciful heaven. But I tell you something, there are people in this country that it's not just America they hate. It's Western civilization, apparently, because they're trying to tear it all down. I mean, it started with Confederate statues or even before, and now they got to go after all of Western civilization as, I don't know, the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a shame.
Well, what they point to is that you can find folks like Mussolini and the Nazis hailing certain points of Western history to back up their point about superiority, all this stuff. Sure. But then you can go to somebody like a J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, who was he was consciously trying to save traditions he loved, the Vikings and the English experience from the crap propaganda of the Nazis. You can study Rome without being like Mussolini saying, we're going to bring this. You don't have to be that way. Right.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I'm perplexed as to why they have such a problem with Western civilization, but apparently they do. I mean,
well, if you go, all around. You go anywhere else, they generally suck compared to us.
Well, and here, you had a story I found this morning, Papa B, from the post-millennial. While New York is grappling with this migrant crisis, I thought they were a sanctuary city. It really is getting rough there. Yeah. They're now considering deleting another statue, George Washington.
Yep.
Ah, right. Yeah. That's such a terrible guy.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Well, that was a big victory in Texas the other day with Paxton. I thought, in this assault that we seem to all be under now. And I maintain that, they're really few in number, but they're loud in mouth.
Right.
We're not dealing with a whole lot of people here that are trying to do this. They just are a bunch of really loudmouths. But anyway, with Paxton, of course, now sending, I guess, what is it? Florida sending them to New York, and Paxton sending them to what? California?
Chicago.
I don't know.
Chicago, yeah.
So Chicago. Oh, Chicago. Yeah, perfect. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And now all of a sudden, all these sanctuary city folks, they're like, wait a minute now. We didn't. I think it was going to happen.
Right. We thought it was going to be somebody else. That's right.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to watch them melt down when it comes to stuff like that.
No, it's a constant critique of, say, the more global elites that all their policies, they never have to live by the consequences of them. They have private security. They have walls around their palatial estates.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're living very differently than all the people that they impose rules on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on this widely varying conversation here, I got to say that the Democrats, social justice left, the rhinos, they've got to be scratching their heads right now about Trump. It's like, just what do we have to do to get rid of this guy? We've tried everything, and nothing is working. What do you think about that, Joey? I mean, what else is next?
I think from folks who would know, don't underestimate, they will try him. They will try to throw him in prison.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I believe that. Yeah. They'll do whatever they can get away with, they will. So, as it makes its way through the court, there's one thing about the court, the justice system, that, judicial system that I learned a long time ago, and I learned it the hard way. Not that I was prosecuted, but I had to walk a case through the courts. And that is, among other things, the main thing you have to remember is it is a business. It's a business like any other business. And, there's a money aspect to it that people don't think it's about. They think it's about, a lot of people, I guess, think it's about, law and justice. Well, yeah, sometimes, but most of the time it's about money and political outcomes or social outcomes. And so as I watch what's happening, nothing's really surprising me here. I really wish that we didn't have to go through it as a country, but I guess the Republicans just basically are sitting on the sidelines like, okay, well, let it happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating, that we don't have the people that are supposedly on our team raising their voices against it.
Though it'd be interesting, Napolitano said Trump's his own worst enemy on a lot of this legal stuff because he keeps making statements in these interviews. I wonder if that now applies on the political side of things, because I think he's getting a lot of heat for his comments on DeSantis and this heartbeat bill from a lot of folks on the right.
You're right.
And then what that Megyn Kelly interview where it's like, do you think men can become women? Which is there a way we can change the dial tone on the phone where it's not normal? It's
Yeah, I told on the morning show, I brought that up. It's like, what a dumb-blooded question. Are you serious? You really going to expect somebody to have to answer that?
Yeah.
I think she was looking for a no.
You think so?
Well, yeah, exactly. Of course she was. Well, why wouldn't? And it should be. What are you saying? Was it Megyn Kelly or was it?
It was Megyn Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's anybody supposed to say? Megyn, well, why are you even asking me this? Are you suggesting that you believe that they actually can be? That a man can actually become a woman? Are you serious?
No, I think my read on her question was she was trying to get Trump to draw a line in the sand very clearly that he says no, that is not real.
Right.
Oh yeah, of course.
But instead you got.
Well,
and I would say how I'd answer the question is no. Of course, people can, live their lives as they're adults however they want and present themselves however they want for the most part. But no, you literally can't change your sex. That's not a thing.
Of course not.
Yeah, but you're trying to tell people that also think they can become kitties. I saw another cat person the other day.
At a certain point, people are going to do what they're going to do, and but.
Right. Anyway, all right. Enjoying the show, guys.
Thank you, Papa B.
272-9228. Yeah, I'm buying into this critique that there are multiple interpretations. You could have millions of interpretations of the world.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot of subjectivity to life. But at the end of the day, when you really start measuring things, like you judge this interpretation compared to that interpretation, some are better than others.
Right.
Some are actually accurate or help us navigate this world better. And I think trying to say, it's all just the whim of whatever you want to be. It's like,
no.
Okay, it is a free country, but you kind of, on a philosophical level, demanding that we destroy sort of the sex binary when it's pretty well backed up. Yeah.
Because of the way you feel. Your feelings do not hold anything in science. Your feelings, I'm sorry, they're feelings.
Well, and gender dysphoria is a real thing, and I just think this has been used as more of a political wedge.
But we do that with everything. When we try to give a little, it seems like no matter what it is, you try to give a little. You try to say, okay, I don't see your side, but I don't want to ostracize you, so we're going to let you into the fold. We're going to try to accept your ideas. Then they come cramming that stuff down your throat with a fire hose. That's where the problems start. I don't want you to be ostracized. I want you to be part of my community. But that doesn't mean I'm going to honor or respect every crazy cuckoo thing you got. I'm sorry.
Right, and you don't expect them to do it for you.
Exactly. But what kills me is the ones that say, Joey, no, you are wrong, and you're going to do it the way I want you to. And by the way, I'm a female now.
How about you're wrong, and why don't you come hang out on the boat? We'll drink some Busch Lights, and you better be wearing Crocs like a normal man. Like, would you impose that on anybody? No.
I would ask that.
I didn't wear Crocs.
No, you didn't.
You allowed
We
it.
were kind of disappointed. But
Hey, this hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Those are good folks, Joe.
Kim, Williams, and her team, including the lovely and talented
I
Madeline
sure would like
Cannon.
to see Madeline again.
I'd love to
I
see
got something
Kim
in my
again.
briefcase just for you, Madeline. I'd love to see Kim. Hug her neck. Tell her, hey, come on by.
No, come on by. Door's open. But hey, folks, you don't have to sit and wait. You can call them. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. And they can help you with buying a home, whether you're a first-time home buyer, which they're better than everybody else. Excuse me.
They are the best.
About that, but it's just true. But when it comes to maybe it's not your first rodeo. Maybe you've done the home buying thing. You know about all the steps. But you want to work with somebody that's local. You want to work with somebody that's trusted, somebody that's going to get you the best possible deal after actually getting to know you and your goals and owning a home or refinancing a home. So again, whether you're looking to buy or refinance, a lot of folks are these days, given the amount of credit card debt out there. You have equity and value built up in your home, you can get that debt off your back, or at least move that debt to where it's a lot better to be paying on, say, even a 7, 8, 9% mortgage than it is a 25, 15, 25, 30% APR on these credit cards.
Joey.
Yeah, you don't need that in,
You're not
in your
getting
life.
ahead on that.
So check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. Again, 567-4223, or you can visit them on the web, even apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Quick break. Hopefully come back with Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's summer sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge summer savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Yeah, all you watching on the live stream, you're going to like it when we dance in our chairs. You're going to like it. Welcome back. Let's go to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. As promised. Hey, Michael, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, I'm great. How are y'all?
We're doing all right. I'm kind of fighting a stomach thing, but I'm powering through. I'm not grumpy at all.
Well, that's good. Eddie appreciates it.
Well, he needs crackers and some hoop cheese, but he refuses to accept that.
Just so much wrong.
When you have an upset tummy, that and Sprite works.
Anyway, at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances, I'm getting a little tired of doing the stovetop steak. I can cook a mean steak that way. But I'm thinking at some point I got to get a grill in my life, a true proper grill. And you've got those options there at Cohen's, right?
That's right. I mean, to me, I like the Napoleon because it's gas and it's instant on and it's stupid simple to operate. They use really high quality stainless steel. Most of their units are on rollers, casters. Some of them you can even build in. They can do natural gas. They can do propane. But they also have a deal on the side of some of them that's called an infrared burner. And with that burner, it gets up to 1,800 degrees in, 30 to 60 seconds. So you can actually cook a steak just like Ruth's Chris would cook one.
Ooh. Man, now that's tempting right there. And And of course, this applies to grills like it does any of your other products. Folks will bring it by, help you set it up, these sorts of things.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, we've got people that can assemble them. There is a charge for assembly, and there's a little charge for delivery. But we can do as much or as little as you need. You just tell us if it's natural gas or propane, and we'll make sure we get you the right model that can do that. And we have a lot of accessories to go with the grills.
Wow.
Everybody's got a different idea of how to grill. But we also sell the Traeger, which is the pellet grills, and those are all the rage. They still do a fine job. It's just a different way of cooking.
I think that my brother has one, so does my dad, and I think the Traeger's kind of cheating. It's just cheating.
Clearly, that's a coal.
So I'm looking at thinkcohens.com right now, folks. You can check out the grilling options as well as all their appliances and electronics there, thinkcohens.com, or you can always call them at 277-8890. And you're still there on the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard?
Yes, sir. Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturdays, 9 to 4. Just come by and see us. I'm waiting on a customer, and he's telling me that we're asking him a bunch of questions that he didn't figure on.
Oh.
As far as how wide the TV is or how wide the shelf is. And, there's a lot of information that you need or that we need to help get you the right equipment so that we can steer you to make the right decision. And it all involves having a conversation and asking questions, and we're not in a hurry. We try to take our time, and there's nobody twisting anybody's arm to make a purchase. So you can come by here and let's have a conversation. We'll help you make the right decision.
So y'all check them out today. I appreciate the time as always, Michael.
Have a great day.
You too, Michael.
And that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. As you just heard there, that's the wisdom behind 65 years of great service. You got generations coming back.
Yeah.
The Cohen's is pretty awesome. So how about we hit the top of the hour break? And I don't know what we're going to talk about next, but we'll figure something out, folks.
All right.
Oh, Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve is talking right now about a soft landing. Okay. Sure. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Federal Reserve leaving its key interest rate unchanged for the second time in its past three meetings. But Fed officials also signaling that they expect to raise rates once more this year. The move left the benchmark rate at about 5.4%. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he won't give up trying to pass a conservative bill to prevent a government shutdown. McCarthy trying to pass a temporary bill including 8% cuts to many government services. Hardline conservatives want more cuts. L.A. County prosecutors will file charges against a man who allegedly shot and killed a sheriff's deputy as he sat in a patrol car. Officials say Kevin Salazar ambushed 30-year-old Deputy Ryan Klinkenbrummer on Sunday in Palmdale. The Dow is up 156 points, the NASDAQ down 41. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898, and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our great week of weather continues. Lots of sunshine again today, but tolerable humidity with a high temperature up to about 89. Clear skies, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low 64. For tomorrow and the last day of summer Friday, highs in the upper 80s again, but still not too humid. More sunshine, dry, storm-free. And continued nice on Saturday, the first day of fall, high 87. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
Governor Ivey responds to the latest round of criticism coming from state lawmakers and even the lieutenant governor over the West Alabama Corridor infrastructure project. Ivey says that the project is vital and will continue as planned in order to provide interstate connectivity to rural counties and Black Belt residents. The project is to expand U.S. Highway 43 to 4 lanes from Mobile to Tuscaloosa. Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth has come out in opposition to Ivey's plan unless federal funding can be secured so that the state fund is not depleted of $1.3 billion to complete the project. The whole project was recently put on hold by the Contract Review Committee within the state legislature. That hold can only go for a max of 45 days. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
The superintendent for Jefferson County Schools is speaking out about the arrest and tasing of a band director at the end of a football game last weekend. Dr. Walter Gonsolin was able to watch the body camera footage supplied by the Birmingham police this past Monday. That video shows them arresting Johnny Mims. Gonsolin says he's not prepared to discuss the specifics from that video, but that he overall is extremely saddened and upset to see the video and to know that students had to witness that scene. Counselors will be made available at Minor High School to help students regain a sense of well-being. Mims has since been placed on administrative leave as an investigation continues. A date has been set for a rape trial of a Gulf Shores tattoo artist. 46-year-old Daniel Crane is facing the charges regarding an unconscious woman found by police at the Mud Bugs Pub and Club in August of 2022. The trial has now been set for March 4th of next year. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions to better manage your time in 2023. Your Montgomery Regional Airport can absolutely help with that. No need to waste hours on end in Atlanta traffic or spend time riding shuttle vans to and from Atlanta Airport parking. 2023 is the time to fly MGM and take advantage of our direct, non-stop American Airlines flight from Montgomery to Washington, D.C. That's right, a direct flight that can have you back home in your own bed in just 24 hours. Fly MGM. Fly your Montgomery Regional Airport.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Yeah, it's great folks are watching on the live stream.
Oh, yeah?
Most of y'all watching on YouTube appreciate that. Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Of course, you can go to my Facebook page. I think my old classmate from Catholic, Chris, is listening. How you doing,
good
Chris?
deal.
Good to see you. And you can also go to News Talk's Facebook page, and nobody's watching on Twitter X. You can watch on Twitter.
I'll
but,
go on there tonight and look at it. I've never found it on the Twitter.
Right. Maybe I'll
go start it.
The algorithms don't like me because I'm a radical or something.
Well, I know that's a Facebook
I think
problem.
I'm reasonable.
I think
I'm just a dreamer.
But you're not the only one.
Well, if it was just a dream, call me a dreamer too. 272-9228. So back to the news. And I guess what's the top news? Oh, yeah, Merrick Garland is getting grilled by House Judiciary Committee Republicans.
I used to think that was like super embarrassing.
Yeah.
Now, like when we had to go to the principal's office to explain our behavior. Now they become immune to it. They know it's just a dog and pony show. To the point of every once in a while, I do get an enjoyment out of watching one make the other kind of
squirm a little.
Yeah, a little bit. But we're not getting stuff done. We don't have time. We don't. To me, we don't have the energy nor the time to be playing around with little things like this. We've got some big issues we need to tackle, and we're just ignoring them.
Well, here, let's do a little bit. Check in on how it's going, because it's happening live right now, folks. And also the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, saying higher energy prices is significant. We're in a weird time economically. It's like maybe the best way to put it in simple terms is a zombie economy. Like, it's kind of dead, but it's still out there and hungry.
Well, we have to, like
Feed
people
me,
like
feed
me, we
me.
have to, right, we have to work. We have to make money. So, yeah, everybody, not just in real estate, but I think there's a lot of industries where people are just doing what they can do, working harder than ever just to try to maintain.
Now, here is Thomas Massey.
Oh, I like that guy.
This guy is, if I was in Congress, I'd be pretty much acting like him.
I like this guy.
You know, well, he's clearly smarter than the both of us put together. This guy is freaking brilliant.
Let's put a motor in front of him and see what he can do with it.
You not know about him? I've told you about him the other day. He literally took a Tesla battery engine out of a
electric.
Tesla.
Nerds know electric. Let's put
And then
something
hooked
gas.
it into his house, built his own solar array, built his own plumbing system. Like,
I built my own
he's
plumbing
completely
system.
off the grid.
Let me give you the secret about plumbing. It rolls downhill.
Well, that's what he did. Yeah,
That's
he
the
did it
secret.
traditional way. He had the pond up in elevation.
Rolls downhill.
He said amazing water pressure. No, I think you put an engine in front of that guy, I think he'd be all right. He's that sort of mind. But this is Thomas Massey using that big brain of his against the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland. Let's see how it goes.
I'm going to cite it. It's our constitutional duty to do oversight. Now, in that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago. When I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Liar.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many. I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that
Thank
you
you.
don't know that there were any. You want to say that again? That you don't know that there were
I have
any?
no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said the last time.
You've had 2 years to find out. And the day, by the way, that was in reference to Ray Epps. And yesterday you indicted him. Isn't that a wonderful coincidence? On a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, you're sending grandmas to prison. You're putting people away for 20 years for merely filming. Some people weren't even there yet. You got the guy on video who's saying go into the Capitol. He's directing people to the Capitol before the speech ends. He's at the site of the first breach. You've got all the goods on him, 10 videos, and it's an indictment for a misdemeanor? The American public isn't buying it. I yield the balance of my time to Chairman Jordan.
May I answer the question?
I'm going to ask you one now.
No, Merrick.
Why? He's had 2 years to answer it, hasn't answered it. He just got asked again. He's not going to answer it. The problem is we don't have dog shot collars on them, so when they lie, we can tase them.
And the one question there are a lot of questions still surrounding that day because the January 6th committee just...
It's a scam.
That was a,
It's right up there with climate change.
What a
buddy.
movie production, I'll
Right.
put it that way, that they came up with.
Right.
But the one big question because I put January 6th in my rearview mirror and I'm not obsessed with this. I knew they were going to use it as this thing going forward. Like, it's just like 9/11. No, it wasn't.
Right.
But the one question that I do still have, that I'm interested in finding out, is the pipe bomb that whole angle. Who the hell put that pipe bomb there at that time that pulled police away from the Capitol? And why do we not have, because it was a big deal. They had,
it was a
do
huge
you know
deal.
who this guy is?
They just indicted him for a misdemeanor yesterday.
Well, no, that's Ray Epps. He's not the pipe bomb guy. You got to wonder, though, like, why do we not know the answer to that? Right now, like, we're 2 years later.
The same reason we don't know the answer to the Epstein's list, Joey. They know it. They don't want to tell us. We're not hellraisers enough to get the information from them. That's why.
Let's continue on.
But we'll let the gentleman.
Yeah.
Go ahead, but
In discovery, in the cases that were filed with respect to January 6, the Justice Department prosecutors provided whatever information they had about the question that you're asking. With respect to Mr. Epps, the FBI has said that he was not an employee or informant of the FBI. Mr. Epps has been charged, and there's a proceeding, I believe, going on today on that subject.
the charge is a joke. I yield to the chairman.
The time the gentleman has expired. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
Mr. Attorney General, my colleague.
Oh, no.
What, Joey?
Said that you should be held in contempt of Congress.
Yeah, thank God they didn't show Eric Swalwell. I know the voice, that fart machine he is.
Yes.
Ooh.
Not a fan.
God, I didn't have to see him. Yeah, things are going great on Capitol Hill. Now, and that's interesting, the way he said that. The FBI has confirmed he's not an informant, he's not an employee. Like, well, what about your other intelligence agencies? Could have just been like a for-hire guy, like
contract employee,
yeah,
perhaps?
like I just don't. Or maybe they're playing games with like he wasn't an informant, he wasn't an employee, he was a confidential human source. Yeah, we'll see.
There's another term for that, Joey. Fed.
Yeah, got a lot of those running around. So that's continuing on Capitol Hill. Apparently, Biden is meeting with Bibi Netanyahu today in the UN there in New York
Think
City.
he's going to stay awake long enough to enjoy the meeting?
It looks like somebody gave pop up his uppers. He seems to be holding on. And Netanyahu says he remains hopeful they can forge a peace. Israel can forge a peace with Saudi Arabia. Well, let's hope. Goodness
When
gracious.
these leaders are coming to see Biden, do you feel like they're going to the old folks' home to see the creepy uncle they've had their whole life and they have to go see? You think they would really come over here and see Biden if they had a choice?
Oh, don't worry here. Let me.
Right. I mean, right now, BB's sitting in that room with him. You think he's not going, this is just a total waste of time? Why am I sitting
baby,
here?
come over here and let me sniff you.
Right. Why am I sitting here with this plant?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think somebody like a Bibi
You've
Netanyahu
got
sees
more
right through
important
it.
things to do than
Oh,
sit here with a vegetable.
He clearly sees right through it. I mean, that's, to me, pretty obvious at this point. Now, there's another story that caught my eye. I've known about this, but it just keeps getting worse. This is from the American Conservative. Have you heard of, and there are a few of these lists, but have you heard of the Peacemaker hit list?
I have not.
It comes out of Ukraine, so we're funding Ukraine. Zelensky was just here, right?
We're buying this. Huh?
Asking
You're
for
on a
more money.
Panhandling mission.
Right. But do you even know what the Peacemaker hit list is?
Never heard of it.
Well, get ready,
Oh, boy.
because we're funding these folks that I'm about to talk
me.
about. This is from Bradley Devlin of the American Conservative. Ukraine is getting desperate. The long-touted and long-delayed counteroffensive has made meager gains. Zelensky pretty much admitted that yesterday. Meager gains and failed to break through Russia's reinforced defensive line at large scale. Meanwhile, Ukraine is increasingly reliant on the West not only to keep the war effort going, but to keep the entire government afloat. As more American policymakers consider further aid to Ukraine, the Ukrainian government is outright threatening American citizens who dare suggest the United States shouldn't be involved in a proxy war with Russia. While Congress is squabbling over whether to include more funding for Ukraine in a continuing resolution to fund the American government, a non-governmental organization connected to the Ukrainian government is adding American citizens to a public hit list.
So I'm paying to be put on a list.
Yeah, the list officially named the it's the Peacemaker.
Can
in
I just
English.
go ahead and sign up for that list? Can I just go ahead and email them and say, hey, put my name on this list? By the way, look at this picture I got for you. Put that on the list too.
So they're a non-governmental organization based in Kiev with known ties to the Ukrainian government.
It's a terrorist organization.
Its founder, for example, is the Ukrainian politician and activist George Tuka. The website explicitly says the list is meant to provide information for volunteers of the Peacemaker Center and employees of law enforcement agencies and intelligence services of Ukraine and other countries except the Russian Federation. Its pages are littered with calls for violent retribution, not only against Russia or Russians, but anyone perceived to be against the Ukrainian war effort. Jack Posobiec, for instance. You know who Jack Posobiec is. You'd probably recognize him. He's got a huge show. He's huge on Twitter. He's, I think, the editor-in-chief there, senior editor at Human Events. He's the latest American citizen to be added to this peacemaker list. In the database, Posobiec is identified as, quote, anti-Ukrainian propagandist and a provocateur, and that is, he is a participant and initiator of information special operations in favor of the Kremlin. The Peacemaker Center implores law enforcement agencies to consider this publication on the website as a statement about the commission by this citizen of deliberate acts against the national security of Ukraine, peace and security of humanity and international law and order, as well as other offenses.
Put my name on the list. And that's the problem. See, when they come out with this kind of crap, every American should go to that page and say, hey, I am Spartacus. Right. You got to have moments like this. We're paying for this.
Well, other Americans that have been included on this list, American citizens, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, I believe Judge Napolitano's on there.
Sure, he's on the list.
Glenn Greenwald. I'm sure Douglas McGregor's on there, for instance.
Mm-hmm. What about
and from world leaders have found themselves on the list, including Pope Francis at one point.
No, he needs to be on the list.
Wait, the Pope is trying to make peace. He's obviously a plant for the Russians. While the database page does not call directly for Posobiec's assassination, other database entries atop other aforementioned violent messages on the site are awfully telling. Daria Dugina, a Russian journalist killed by a car bomb, still has an entry on this peacemaker list. Instead of a blue header with her name, akin to Posobiec's, her header is black with text that has a fiery effect. They blew her up.
Yeah.
Now, this is the daughter of the guy who some claimed was Putin's spiritual advisor, Alexander Dugin. But they said Dugina was engaged in propaganda of Russian fascism and Nazism, dissemination of Kremlin propaganda in the form of so-called Russian world, and provided information support for the military attack of fascist Russia on Ukraine. Dugina's picture has red text plastered across her face. It reads, liquidated, in English, which is the same term the Ukrainian military uses when reporting the number of Russian soldiers they've allegedly killed. Now, number one, killing a Russian citizen over something, okay, maybe you're in the ballpark there. But you're putting Americans just speaking their minds on this list? So wait, the people of this country get their money taken from them without a vote, sent over there, and if you question that process, is it the most prudent thing to do? And especially if you're coming from a place of, I don't like seeing all these people dying, this shouldn't have even started in the first place, you're put on a hit list?
Well, not only that, as an American, am I not entitled to ask, what are you doing with my money? Am I not entitled to say, I don't like the way this money is being spent?
And how much you want to bet there ties back to things like Langley?
You know there is. I know that. You both know that. But here's the part that I don't get. When it comes to this kind of thing, we're obviously funding it. There is a name that goes with that. The government doesn't just magically write a check and they magically grab it out of the air. There's a department. There is a person, an American, that is the go-between. Why don't we ever find who that is?
Right.
It's always they and them.
We'll see what the next steps are. One thing I saw last night is the Russians are putting out a propaganda video to their own people, trying to recruit more folks. I think they have something like 300,000 troops now in reserve. They got a lot of folks ready to go already, but they're continuing to do recruiting. And the propaganda video essentially has these soldiers talking about, I look forward to being in Kiev. I look forward to seeing the sea, Odessa. It might be a signal. If that's the propaganda the Russian government is pushing to their own people to try to get them to go fight, it looks like the Russians ain't stopping in the south. They're going to Kiev. They're going to Odessa, and we'll see where the rest of this goes. My worry, and it's what Napolitano brought up yesterday, is that Joe Biden is we got to fight this provocation.
It's just not the guy. He's going to do what he's told.
Hopefully it's not too late to end. that needs to end now. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center. And there at New Look Decorating Center, well, Brett Lanham, great guy. He's the manager there at New Look Decorating. And he's put together a great team. Jordan and Katie, both paint specialists. Oh, and by the way, Katie is the true expert when it comes to wallpapers and fabrics. So if you are looking for wallpaper and fabrics, including that very popular Tebow wallpaper, Katie is the person to go see there at New Look Decorating. Of course, she can also help you with paint and stain selections, as can Jordan, Brett, Brian Carr, the owner, the entire team. And so if you're going to hire a painter, folks, the first question you need to ask them is, do you buy your paint at New Look? It's a good judge of a man, right? You know, judge of a guy's. You know these folks? Because New Look's a true institution.
They've been around in Montgomery for how long?
40 plus years.
Heck yeah.
There you go. And not only can they help you with just, you know, starting from scratch, they can match any competitor paint color and high quality Benjamin Moore paint. And, you know, when you buy from New Look Decorating Center, not only are you helping out the local Montgomery economy, the river region here, you're also helping out the larger Alabama economy. One of Benjamin Moore's largest plants is right here in Pell City, Alabama. So check them out today. Whether you're doing it yourself or contracting out the job, New Look Decorating is looking out for you. But you got to go see them. You can always call them at 271-0007 or go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But I really encourage you to go to 6237 Atlanta Highway right here in Montgomery, right where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. You see it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views after this. Stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Because coming up, we got big news having to do with Coach Tuberville. If you've been following this story, we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Here's your Real Estate Minute. What's the secret behind selling your home fast and selling it for fair market value or above? There's no secret, but here's some suggestions that I've learned over 46 years in the real estate business. First, price it right. Based on other sales in your neighborhood, what should it sell for? Second, make sure all the little and big repairs you may have put off all get done before you put it on the market. Third, consider making some improvements to your house first, repainting inside and out, updating the flooring, professionally clean the whole house. Fourth, consider helping the buyer with a portion of closing costs and providing a warranty too. Number 5, don't try to do this on your own. Hire a professional realtor to provide facts, tips in selling, and guidance all the way through the transaction. Also work with the best realtors from the Goodson Group, fully trained, service-oriented folks. Call Bo Goodson 221-2883 or the Goodson Group 551-0225.
Next contestant. Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house. Now, earlier today, I was seeing that United States Senator Coach Tommy Tuberville was going to try to force Chuck Schumer's hand by saying, okay, y'all keep complaining about we don't have a commandant of the Marines. Okay, let's just do an individual vote on them. Like we can vote on the one person. Yeah. Tuberville's been saying this for a while. I'll allow you to vote on individual people.
I remember that.
If you really need those positions filled. By the way, it's the same guy's already acting. So let's talk of the military's out of what? It's like you have people in place. Like
but
these formalities are ridiculous.
They're not getting their pay, Joe.
So we're months and months into this. It's been what would you call it? A staring contest?
Pretty much. That's a nice way to put it.
Well, about an hour ago, Chuck Schumer just blinked.
What?
This is from, of all places, folks, CNN. Just going to read it straight up.
All right.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has caved to a demand by Senator Tommy Tuberville to bring up a small handful of votes on military promotions to the Senate floor, even as he assailed the Alabama Republicans' tactics. In floor remarks Wednesday, today, Schumer said the Senate is confronting his obstruction head on, but was forced to change direction in demanding the promotions be voted on as Tuberville's hold stretched into months and key military positions remained vacant. Tuberville has refused to drop his holds, insisting instead that Schumer set up individual votes on each nominee. Until Wednesday, Schumer has resisted, saying that all nominees should have been considered and confirmed in a bipartisan way. By threatening to begin procedural steps on military nominations himself, which is what Tuberville said he would do this morning, I believe what he told us on Monday.
Yep.
Tuberville forced Schumer's hand by doing that. Before Tuberville could carry out his threat, Schumer took procedural steps for individual votes on several top military nominees, possibly beginning as soon as Wednesday afternoon on the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Marine Corps Commandant, and the Army Chief of Staff. It's not the path the vast majority of senators on either side of the aisle want to go down, but Senator Tuberville is forcing us to confront his obstruction head on. You can put it that way.
All right.
For the information of all senators, now that I've filed these motions, I will request consent to collapse the time and hold these votes later this afternoon, Schumer said. I hope Senator Tuberville does not object. If he does, senators should expect votes on Friday and possibly Saturday to finish consideration of these nominations. Again, I will shortly move to speed up the votes on these amendments to this afternoon, and I hope the senator will not object, but if he does, we will stay till we get them done.
All right, we're going to work some overtime this weekend.
Yeah, Schumer warned that having to give in to Tuberville's demands for votes could set a precedent where senators can use widely supported nominees as leverage for their top issues.
Don't they do that anyway?
They've been doing that for years.
Just want to make sure.
Like, I think Tuberville learned it from Shelby. Shelby would do that quite often.
I've seen it done before.
The Senate runs on unanimous consent, and we depend on each other to ensure the institution functions smoothly, Schumer said.
Party.
That's how we make things happen around here. If everyone objected to everything to get leverage for their pet priorities, it would grind this body to a halt. Isn't that by design, Chuck?
Isn't that what's happening right now? Grinding everything to a halt?
And I can put myself in their shoes. All these little people, they don't understand the Constitution. We got to get things done. We only got so much time in the day, and we got to get this. No. Follow the damn Constitution. So Chuck Schumer has blinked, folks.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Congratulations to Senator Tuberville and his staff. That's
good.
Good news. We'll see where everything policy debate over violations of the Hyde Amendment and how things should be changed up.
Well, help me understand this. So they're going to have to vote individually on each one, right? So that could be 1, 2 hours, 3 hours per person, or it could be 5, 10 minutes per person, right? But they basically have to do each individual person.
Right.
I'm all about it. Because then they get to ask questions.
Well, and I know many Alabamians appreciate Tuberville's stand.
Yes, sir.
So
I think there's a lot more than Alabamians that appreciate
I was wondering who was going to blink first. And I knew, well, honestly, I knew it wasn't
You're going to be coach. Come on.
Like, seriously, I've tried to bring up with that guy, like your former players were saying this about. He does not care. It's just words.
Don't care.
So how about this? Let's hit another break.
Let's break it.
However, first, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting.
Dude, I had those folks out at my place.
Would you say they're the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region?
I definitely will, especially after talking with Jason about the roof at that place the other day. And I think he left my house and went to a job right down the street. When people saw his truck, they started calling, man. These are some of the best folks in the business. And guess what, Joey? He was there at my house 2 hours. You know how much my bill was? 0.0. Because he was just there to tell me what kind of shape my roof was in.
Wow.
They're preparing an estimate right now as we speak. You know how much I got to pay for that estimate? $0.0 as well. Right? I should have it this afternoon. Yep, in my email. And it was great. But meeting with him, talking with him, he told me all these things about my roof. My biggest question was, how is my roof? He said, your roof in general is fine. However, there are some improvements we need to make. That made me feel so much better. Because I'm not climbing up on that roof.
Right. No. I don't advise you doing that.
I'm not climbing up there.
I saw out just a few stairs, did you, the other day? We don't need to get up on the roof.
Right.
But again, that wasn't just for you.
No, they do that for everybody.
That's their policy. Inspections and estimates are always free.
Yep.
And they're a team of insurance specialists, folks. If they find a problem with your roof, they can walk you through that insurance claim process, make it a swift and easy experience. Not usually what you hear when dealing with an insurance claim. So check them out today. Give Todd Clark and his team a call at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them you heard about them here from Joey and Eddie on News and Views in the afternoon. We'll be right back after this.
Know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Hi, I'm Dawn Sexton with Physical Therapy and Balance Center in Prattville. I've been advertising now with Blue Water Broadcasting for a while, and it has greatly increased our referrals. We're glad we can help people get increased mobility to love their life again. I highly recommend advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting. Thanks.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole. Hey, we got some tickets to give away.
Yeah, we do.
You might remember from earlier in the week, we've got 3 more pairs left, right?
Yeah, I
We've
believe
given
so.
1 pair away. So we have 3 more pairs left for Brian Kilmeade. He's going to be in Montgomery, I believe, on November the 19th at the Impact. A lot of folks love them some Brian Kilmeade and enjoy his books, for instance, and that's what he's doing, mostly talking about his book. I believe it's about, Teddy Roosevelt and Booker T. Washington and how they overlapped there in that point in American history.
Right.
So if you want to go to the Brian Kilmeade event at Impact on November the 19th, how about caller number 3? 272-9228. That's 272-9228. Caller number 3, you will win a pair of tickets. So start dialing now.
All righty.
We'll be right back.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our beautiful weather pattern continues for a few more days. Tonight will be rather comfortable. Mostly clear skies, low temperature in the middle 60s. Tomorrow and Friday will be in the upper 80s, still not too humid, and lots of sunshine. Even Saturday, on the first official day of fall, it should be a great day with a high temperature up to about 87, more sunshine. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Well, folks, it looks like we've got caller number 3 on the line here.
Yes, we do.
Let's go to the phone. You said this is Fred?
This is Fred.
Hey, Fred, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man. I knew talking to you would pay off one day.
One day. Yeah, keep listening. I got more things. Anyway, I'm going to put you back on hold, and I'll let Eddie get your information from you.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Fred. Congratulations. Again, to go see Brian Kilmeade coming up November 19th. We got 2 more pairs of tickets that we can give away. 2 more pairs. And look forward to giving those away. We could do it at any time, folks. So stay tuned to be the lucky caller into the program. Again, that number, 272-9228, whether you want to win something or not. Now, one thing that caught my attention, and this is just not surprising, it's a long-term trend here now in the United States of America, but a new poll shows Americans' trust in the political system is at new lows. I didn't think we could go any lower. Share of Americans who say they have unfavorable views of both Democratic and Republican parties is just skyrocketing. It's pretty remarkable. I would put myself in that camp for sure. Americans' views of the U.S. political system have reached new lows, according to a survey that reveals near-record distrust of the government, disgust with both political parties, and general exhaustion over the divisiveness. Why it matters. The survey by Pew, pretty reputable source, reflects the growing distaste with the nation's politics as congressional infighting threatens a government shutdown and the 2024 presidential race appears headed towards a Biden-Trump matchup most Americans don't want. 4 times as many Americans have unfavorable views of both parties, Eddie.
Of both parties?
Of both parties, which is...
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Right, at this point in life, yeah.
And that's 4 times as more than they did in 2002.
Well, it's only getting worse.
Trust in the government is near a 70-year low. with just 16% of the public saying they trust the federal government, at least most of the time. Who are these people?
They must be
Wait,
the employees.
do they work for the feds? Yeah.
They have to be employees.
So the problem could get worse as younger generations make up greater shares of the population. Younger people are far more likely to be critical of both Republican and Democratic parties. Exactly, because we don't like your stupid fake theater.
Thank you.
We're tired of the kayfabe
Thank you.
professional wrestling politics. 37% of 18 to 29-year-olds had unfavorable views of both parties compared to just 16% of those 65 and older. But 65 and older tend to vote more.
They do. They have time.
Yeah.
If we were serious about voting, we would change the whole voting way we vote.
Yeah, but here's the problem. A third-party challenge, not exactly a piece of cake. 68% of Americans overall say they at least somewhat wish there was more parties to choose from, more options, but they're not convinced that having more than two parties would make it easier to solve the nation's problems.
I don't necessarily know if it'd make it easier, but it would, to me, to have some other ideas besides just those two-part. If it's not one of these two-part ideas, just like in the election, how the Democrats now can tell Kennedy he can't run. To me, that's unfair. I think if Kennedy were to do an independent deal, that would change a lot of people's minds in a hurry. And I think that's what it'll take to ever get a third party going. You're really going to have a big name come and run in that party.
But here's more on this. 87% of Republicans and 85% of Democrats, they agree. What do they agree on? What do we actually agree on in this country? That politicians in both parties are more focused on fighting each other than on solving problems.
Yeah, I agree.
See, but I don't even know how to answer that question, because I would be like, usually when they solve problems, they just cause more.
Well,
and it means they want to take money from me to go solve the issue for somebody else.
Well, I agree that they are, well, it's a uniparty. I ain't going to pretend it's not. It's a uniparty.
Yeah, the problem is the government in many ways. And this unholy alliance between corporate America and
that's something that's getting a lot worse.
But Americans want limits on those in government. 87% want term limits.
Yes.
79% support age limits.
Yes.
Let's get it done.
Well, Joey, here's the problem. My 80-year-old senator don't want to put that bill in front of nobody.
But here's a difference.
Yeah?
Democrats were about twice as likely as Republicans to say the federal government does more for ordinary Americans than people give it credit for. That description of the federal government had the largest partisan gap on the list.
Yeah. I don't agree with, I think somebody's being fooled.
The federal government does more for ordinary Americans than people give it credit for.
No,
you don't
they
agree
do
with that?
more to ordinary Americans than they get blamed for.
And now apparently Americans have become deeply cynical of those who run for office.
Yeah.
Which I've been calling for this for a while. Not about life. Have hope in men and women.
Sure.
Have hope in your fellow man, but be cynical about politics. It actually, I think, will not like despairing and defeat us.
No.
But be critical. Well, I say it often on the show. Don't listen to what politicians tell you. Try to assess the necessities they may face behind the curtain. It helps you explain actions a lot more than just what they say.
But, well, I'll let you finish.
I'm pretty much done.
I heard a good point the other night, and I don't remember who brought it up. It was one of the podcasts I watch. And he went to the governor of Texas and said, why don't you close the border? You've got troops. You've got everything. His answer he got back was more complicated than that. That tells me right there, uniparty, and you're in on the fix, buddy. You're in on the fix.
I suspect what's going on there is how much Texas relies on certain federal programs.
Right. But Joey, we got to make a cut at some point.
Well, and again, all these folks say the federal government does more for ordinary Americans than it hurt. But you know my example. I think these folks are thinking of, well, they gave me a crutch, they're helping me. I'm like, yeah, but who broke your leg? Sometimes it just happens in life. You're unlucky. But come on. When you see, say, the inflation problems we have right now, that was a bipartisan policy choice. It didn't just fall out of the clear blue sky.
Right.
And so, but now we'll help you out with well, don't break my leg in the first place. I don't want your crutch.
But another big problem. The government and our leadership will never admit they will do wrong. They're doing wrong. They will take a stupid idea and drive everybody into the ground with it instead of going, you know what? We need to get off this. That's not working.
Yeah, like Judge Napolitano Austin has a anecdote he tells where you're sleeping at like 2 a.m. It's before the bubble gut gets going, and you hear a rap at the door.
Yeah,
what's that? Are we being robbed? Somebody setting us up? Somebody need help? You open the door, and somebody with a badge, but he's got a gun trained on you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, give me your money. I want to give it away in your name. That's essentially what the government does. They don't do it maybe in the middle of the night.
They do it in the middle of the night, but they do it at my bank account where I have no control. I don't have the lock to say, no, you can't come in my bank account.
And we can't account for like trillions at the Pentagon, but if you go over $600 on that Venmo account, you better watch out, big boy, and pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, when asked to use their own words to describe the biggest problem with the political system, Americans' most common answer, 31%, involved politicians. There you go. Now, I really do think the coin of the realm these days is authenticity. Just be who you are.
Yes.
Some people, they'll be take it or leave it. Some people won't like you. Fine.
That's fine. Not
But
everybody
we need
has to
more
like
of that.
you.
Right. We need a lot more of that. Instead of the sort of focus group, poll tested, the old way they used to sell soap on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They still are trying to sell politicians that way. And it gives me hope, actually, that more Americans are becoming cynical about the political system.
They are, but the
Think outside the box.
The frustrating part is we definitely woke up to what our politicians have been doing forever. It's the fact that what do we do to stop it? That's where I get so frustrated. Yes, I'm aware of it. I'm aware that you are robbing from me. I have not figured out a way to keep you from doing it.
All right.
That's my problem.
272-9228. Before we hit this break, this part of the program brought to you by Dr. Tom Pershing.
Good to hear from him.
Great chiropractor
Yeah, man.
here, now in Montgomery.
Right, he moved to Montgomery.
Yeah, in Montgomery. So if you've been in an auto accident victims, you might need specialized spinal care, especially a few days after your accident. You might walk away thinking I'm fine.
Right.
But that whiplash can really get you. Or
It
maybe
will.
something got knocked loose that you don't want it to heal in a particular way that's funky. It doesn't matter if the accident was caused by you or someone else, by the way. Just call 334-676-1490 or just visit drpershing.net. That's drpershing.net. You don't want to delay treatment because you may end up with permanent pain or other symptoms. Now, Dr. Pershing has been treating auto accidents, farm injuries, gym injuries for over 35 years. Common problems he often treats are things like low back pain, whiplash, like I mentioned earlier, knee pain, other sort of sprains and strains and inflammation caused by accidents or just life. And they all need to be treated as soon as reasonably possible. You don't have to live this way. So find out more, again, at drpershing.net. That's drpershing.net. Or call them. Don't wait to call. 334-676-1490. That's 334-676-1490. And be sure to tell Dr. Tom Pershing that Joey from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. You know, I'm feeling a little crazy here.
Yeah?
We got 2 more pairs of Brian Kilmeade
We
tickets.
do.
Caller number 5.
Really?
Caller number
Okay.
5. 272-9228.
We're doing this.
We're doing it right now. We're not even getting to this break just yet. We're going to wait until the calls start to roll in after the delay out there. But caller number 5, you will win a pair of tickets to Brian Kilmeade, November the 19th at the Impact. Oh, they're starting to roll in here. Somebody's quick on the draw. So we got number 1, so sorry, so soon. Number 2, you were close.
So close.
Number 3, you're caller number 3. Number 4,
So close, but no cigar.
Number 5, who's this?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Caller number 5.
Turn down your radio, man.
I'm in an excavator.
The elevator. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
in an excavator. I'm sorry.
Oh, excavator. Okay. Yeah, working girl.
What's your name?
Monica?
Monica. Well, congratulations. You're the winner of these pair of tickets to Kilmeade. So I'll put you on hold, let Eddie get your information, and congratulations.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hold on, Monica.
More news and views. See, it pays to listen, folks, after this quick break.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Nothing beats the smell of the grill and the thrill of the biggest and best barbecue competition around. Come join us at Wind Creek, Montgomery for Pusacue, October 6th and 7th. You'll enjoy food trucks, vendors, and live music. Open to the public on Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. New this year, you can win a Can-Am Maverick Turbo RR during our Last Hand Standing contest. Visit windcreekmontgomery.com for more info. See you there.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. It feels good to give away stuff. Especially, stuff in high demand. Really do appreciate all y'all listening out there, especially when I'm in a cranky mood because my tummy hurts or something. Really do appreciate it. Let's see who this is calling in on line 1. You're on the air. Who's this?
Eric the dog.
Hey, Eric. Long time no talk to. Hola.
Hola.
You're on the air. Just, I want to make sure you understand.
I'm at work. That's why I don't call y'all.
Okay.
Love y'all. Miss y'all. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you, sweetheart. All these men who tried to play dad or uncle for me, they're also sweet. Also very sweet. Is Monica happy, Eddie?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love making y'all happy because we don't often have that good of news to tell you. But, I mean, again, congratulations not only our winners here of these tickets, but to Coach Tuberville and to his team there in his legislative office. I know how hard they've been working on this, and a victory of sorts, if you will. Not just of sorts, a victory today with Chuck Schumer caving to Senator Tuberville's demands. A heck of a victory there for Coach and his team in the United States Senate. Hear, sir. I mean, talk about being put through the ringer, too, on national TV and the National Press Corps.
Oh, yeah, they tried to shame him into changing his mind.
And
wasn't going to happen.
Good on him for not stopping.
Right.
Is she single?
She looks like too much like AOC with a crazy ass.
You know who? Yeah. I would marry her so fast.
I know.
I don't care if she's crazy.
I know.
Let's go to Ray. Hey, Ray.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, Ray. How are you doing, buddy?
Man, it's been a good day. Been to Auburn and back. Been out figuring out how to fix I'm about the only person in the world that has a builder call and says, hey, I really don't want to replace the shower. Can you help me? And I go running. So Skip, I said, what other stuff do you got that says, no, I don't want a $5,000 job. Let me figure out how to fix this for $5.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, but no, you got to do what you got to do to help the crews out and help the men out. Figure out the best way, especially on like rental properties. You know how it is, Eddie.
Oh, yes, sir.
Look, we want it right, but at the end of the day, you still need to make a profit on the property.
Yep.
Now, do you still have that like trophy or token of shame of somebody?
Oh yeah, it's on my desk.
And for folks who don't know, this is the if somebody mismeasures, doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Sure, it happens.
You get the trophy of shame or something.
Yeah, no, it's called the Short Man Trophy.
Short Man
Trophy.
Love it.
Nobody wants the Short Man Trophy on their desk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's sitting online. Yeah, I put all my change in it for. Nobody else has been short in like months.
Wow, that's pretty good, buddy.
Taking them. What I might do is go in there and call the mill and change their order. That's what I need to do.
Just to mess with them. Keep them on their toes.
Just to mess them up.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, can we take 5 foot off of that carpet? Are you sure? Absolutely.
So your number is still 285-8117?
It is. Call us today. We'll come out and do that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down there. And look, if you got a problem and you don't want to spend $5,000 redoing the shower, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. We'll come out and look at it, free of charge, and see what's the best way to do to get to get it solved and move on,
Well, I appreciate you, Ray. And folks, when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles here on with Joey and Eddie on the radio.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Ray.
Seriously, we need to find out if she's single, and if I will also find a way for me to make a lot of money all of a sudden, so I could actually deliver to her, build her house and home.
She's going to be interested in money. She's already gone that route. Didn't work out.
Oh, so she might.
You're looking for love now.
Really?
Yep.
Don't give me hope. Don't.
Tell
Hey,
everybody.
Happy Hour with Greg Vidal. He's next.